It's an actual Yeah, just trying to build some
That was great.
some tension.
Coming in with so much energy.
I know it's coming in with so much energy. It's episode 17. Is it episode 17?
Yes.
It is.
It's what I've written in the book.
I've got it written down as well.
That's a lot of episodes.
It's a lot of episodes.
Did you ever think we'd get this far?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
did.
I thought one of us would have killed someone by now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought I'm
Yeah, but the show would have survived.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah, that's true.
Is that we would have killed each other, or we would have killed a random person that they put in prison?
Oh, good question.
Oh, I think
we've theorised about this, haven't we?
Okay.
Of helping Harry hide a body one day, and you're just going to turn up at
Listen,
someone's hotel room covered in blood, like you've got to help. Guys.
any of you, I'm there. Day one, I'm there. Just give me a
know that.
call.
What?
Yeah.
I know
Hide
that.
a body?
I know that from that other body that we
Yeah.
See? Track
Guys,
record.
I've made a mistake.
I actually think. I know you guys now. I think we'd be great. I think we could get away with it.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not.
Our
I'm
part
worried.
of mind. We've got enough talent.
Cut to this being played to the gallery in a trial.
Your Honour, after everything in our WhatsApp, that is not the only thing that's going to make us guilty.
This isn't even like BTS. This is actually on an episode we are describing how we would bury a body.
And one of us looks up and goes, Your Honour, I admit, it doesn't look good.
The D&D, stay for the tips.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you for joining us as we plan how to dispose of bodies and create more magic in the world of Reliquiae. Let's say hi to our potential murderers but current heroes.
Hi, I'm Aoife Wilson, and I play Dolly de Winter, the Tiefling Bard.
Hello, I'm Alex Jordan, and I play the Kobold Rogue.
Hi, I'm Doug Cockle, and I play Kelmis, the Dragonborn Druid.
Hi, I'm Hollie, and I play Elwyn Grenweird, the human fighter.
Hello, I'm Ben Starr, and I play Radiant Thornbear, the Wood Elf Wizard.
And I'm Harry McEntire. I'm the sort of walls, the floor, the ceiling, and all of the kind of internal inbuilt stuff so that these guys can be beautiful soft furnishings.
Did you just improv that bit?
Yeah.
No, he came with that. He's been working
No,
on that.
what, I don't think you have any sense of how talented I am. Shall we play some Dungeons and Dragons? Yay! Last time. You began in the woods of Mab, close to the workshop of Yannick. Still unsure of how to deal with Petra, the remaining tiefling under the thrall of Dolly's suggestion spell, Radian and Kelnis attempted to convince her that her companions had been killed by gnomes. They swiftly failed in this objective, but Petra, seemingly resigned to the idea that chaos would follow the deaths of the virtuous, was willing to talk. She shared a strange conversation with Radian as the Wood Elf helped her bury her tiefling companion. Meanwhile, Quincy, savant of the workshop, headed back inside with I, the character not the me, to make the necessary repairs to I's Grenweird crossbow. As the gnome and the kobold tinkered, the first tentative bonds of trust emerged between them.
Come on.
With Quincy coaching I through the process. Dolly set to reading the tome that Torian gave her as Radian attempted to gain more information on Iago, the leader of the gang that Petra was a member of. She revealed that he ran card games and was an expert at winning games of chance by whatever means necessary. She also explained that the gang had raided the gnomish workshop hoping to find funds that would cover their costs while they waited for a substantial debt to be paid. Petra told them that they did not plan to return to the gang, instead striking out on her own, greeting Radian's idea that she should relocate to Mouse with scorn. The burial complete, Petra headed out into the woods alone. Meanwhile, Quincy and I had completed their renovation of the crossbow, and the kobold shared his plans for a high chair with the gnome, the two of them riffing on more ways the design could be optimized. Quincy agreed to try to create a formal schematic that I could take to a carpenter, needing a day in her home in Yanik to finalize the design. Having rested that night, you headed towards Yanik, deciding on some extraordinary pseudonyms, including Missy, Pebble, and Steve Chase. Now, sure to avoid detection, You reached the farms that bordered the town. You were initially concerned that there were no signs of life in the fields, though Quincy reassured you that the populace would be gathered in Oratory Square in the centre of Yanik, where the people meet to vote on matters of great importance in a tradition called the Right of Common Voice. This proved to be the case when you reached the town centre. All the folk of Yanik gathered as a single elf stood atop a fountain, pontificating and philosophising to the frustration of the assembled crowd. You learned that this elf was called Pennick Winter von Ven, a member of a group called the Learned Friends, a glorified debating society and educational institution who often hijack the right of common voice to practice their debating skills. The reason for the gathering of the people seemed to be the attack on the workshop and the gnomish community's desire for the Watch to be dispatched to rescue Quincy. When Quincy revealed herself to be alive and well, the crowd began to disperse, before Elwyn spotted a familiar face making her way through the crowd towards your gnomish friend. It was Eris, mother of Isolde and Reeve of Yannick. Elwyn asked Quincy to make an introduction, and Eris attempted to hide her surprise at Elwyn's appearance, inviting you all to the official residence where you could talk in private. Spotting Ai's newfound proximity to Quincy, Radian and Dolly attempted to interrogate the kobold on whether any romantic feelings had begun to develop. I was genuinely baffled by the insinuation, not understanding the first thing about romance, yet he still somehow managed to get himself politely turned down by Quincy, remaining none the wiser throughout the interaction. In the house of the Reeve, Elwyn told Eris of Isolde's wish that the people of Yanik relocate to Mouse. Eris agreed that it would be wise, but the traditions of the town decreed that she cannot issue an order, only invite people to vote. She told you that the main obstacle to such a vote being cast was the Learned Friends, and chiefly Pennick Winter von Ven, who choked any chance of a decision being made by monopolising the debate. You made multiple offers to kill various members of the House of Learned Friends, all of which were politely rebuffed by Eris. Radian recalled Iago being owed a debt by a highborn elf and came to the conclusion that Pennick could be the elf in question. So you headed to the Black Cat Tavern, which Eris had told you was located at the southern edge of the town. It was a run-down establishment, owned by a surly dwarf called Tommen, who was reluctant to buy spoons but quite happy to sell information. He told you that Iago might be found at the card table in the Tipsy Scholar, so that was where you headed next, workshopping a name for your new spoon-selling company on the way. You found the Tipsy Scholar to be a far more salubrious establishment, with its halfling landlord Broderick starved of conversation by his haughty clientele. Dolly successfully schmoozed him and secured a few spoon sales until he offered her a seat at the exclusive card table that his son Finley runs in the back of the tavern. As Dolly secured rooms for the night, the rest of you occupied a table and waited for the card game to start. The conversation drifted to relationships and romance, with Kelnis becoming distant as the focus turned briefly to him. After some time passed, the door to the tavern opened and a tiefling entered and spoke to Broderick. It was Iago himself, searching for someone. Having told Broderick to do what he could to ensure a certain acquaintance of theirs sat at the table that evening, Iago left the tavern, followed by Radian and I. They snuck across Oratory Square, watching as Iago stared at the House of Learned Friends, only moving when a scholar emerged. He tracked the scholar down a quiet side street, Radian and I managing to keep pace without being seen themselves. Reaching his prey, Iago forced him up against a wall where he threatened him, cutting him with a whip he carried at his side and telling him to make certain that another scholar attended the card game. Deciding against attempting to steal Iago's whip, Radian and I headed back to the tavern where Broderick led you all through to the card room at the rear of the Tipsy Scholar. There you found Iago, waiting along with Finley, Broderick's son, sat at one of the tables. Dolly joined them, and they played a few hands in anticipation of a third party. As the rest of you busied yourselves with books and took your seats at the remaining table, Dolly and Iago traded wins and losses, with Dolly realising that her fellow tiefling was forcing cards and cheating, though she decided not to call out this trickery. After the second hand was played, you heard the noise of someone approaching the card room. It was Pennick Winter von Ven. Iago changed in an instant, insisting that everyone leave. Broderick and Finley did so, the rest of you remaining as Iago struck Pennick with his whip before Dolly stepped in. Elwyn closed the door, leaving the five of you alone with Iago and Pennick, the tiefling smiling as he considered his options. And that's where we are now. Everybody roll initiative. Straight into battle. Anyone get higher than a 20?
21.
Anyone get higher than a 15?
Me, 19.
Sweet.
Higher than a 10?
Don't be like that. Don't make that face.
Higher than a 5.
Yeah.
I got T5.
You got a 5?
8.
I got an 8 too.
Dex mods 3 and 2?
+4.
+4. Your Dex is +4.
Actually, yeah.
She's a Dexy lady.
He's a Dexy. And yours is 3, right?
3, yeah. I'm still a Dexy boy.
+4. No, sorry, it's
Not
+3.
as
+3.
Dexy.
That's 3. Roll off, please.
Okay.
She looked you in the eyes. That was hot.
What'd you get?
4.
No, I got a 2.
High rollers, baby.
You deserve each other.
It's the sex cult vibe, do you know what I mean?
It is, isn't it? Maybe
Nobody knows the context.
when the BTS
We've
comes out in like
immediately
3 months'
derailed
time.
ourselves. That's so quick.
I think nothing says sign up to our Patreon more than like that comment.
Then understand what the hell we're talking about when we mention the sex cult.
Any understanding of that, go now.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Iago has just watched you shut the door, Owen. Dolly, you're directly in front of him. The other 3 of you are, I'll say, sort of 15 feet away towards the far wall of the space where this other table is and these bookshelves.
I was at the bookshelf.
You were at the
checking out
bookshelf.
books, wasn't
Great.
I?
So I'll say. So you were at the. So we're going to say I and Radian are at the table, or closer to the table.
I was at a different table.
Yes, there are only 2 tables.
Yeah.
There's next to each other.
Yeah.
I can, in fact,
you weren't in the shop?
I can even show you a little map. So essentially, Dolly and Iago are here at this table with Pennick on the floor. Radian and I are next to this table.
Sexy.
Elowen is there next to the door, and Kel is down here,
Of course he is.
Hinge.
Of course he is.
hiding behind the hinge. Iago looks at you, Dolly, takes in your friends, and says, "You made a very big mistake."
Let's see if the cards are in your favor today.
And you watch as he lifts his hand, and from the palm of his hand spreads a sphere, an emerging sphere of blood-red mist. I need Radian, and Dolly to roll me Constitution saving throws.
Is there a time? Is this a possibility? No.
To do what? To
Counterspell.
It is not a spell. It is a cast ability. So it's like him using hypnotic gaze.
Thank you very much. Fantastic. Rolled a nat 1.
One,
7.
7.
15.
Okay.
Did it go well for me?
This still doesn't sound like it could, even for Dolly, sounds like
I
it
think
could.
it went well for me.
Okay.
I think nothing goes well for you. It's multiple. I can feel your legs shaking under the
I'm
table.
fine.
This is even more
Dolly,
dramatic. By the way.
Radian, and I take 24 damage.
What?
You take 24 points of necrotic damage,
No.
and you are incapacitated until the end of your next turn. You take half as much, and you are not incapacitated.
So I can't
maths.
use reaction, obviously, because it doesn't, like, for uncanny dodge.
What? Tell me about Uncanny Dodge.
Uncanny dodge is...
And from there as well.
The great thing is, this is going to be great for the microphone. This is going to be
Uncanny
great for
dodge,
sound.
It says if they hit me with an attack. So it's like when an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to halve the attack's damage against you. Are we saying that's
this
a
is
physical
This is
hit?
not an attack. This is an
Yeah.
effect. So where we level 7 and you got evasion, which is where you can, on a fail, you take nothing, and on a half you take. I'm going to rule that is not applicable in this situation.
Such a frustrating waste of a 21 on initiative.
I'm so sorry,
What's the
babe.
damage again?
24, so you take
So
12,
12.
and you are not incapacitated. That hasn't dropped any of you to 0 HP, right?
No.
No.
Cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Why don't say it like that?
Don't worry,
Like-
don't worry.
Really
Oh,
bloody
no.
cool.
But he is. That is his turn.
Oh, is it?
That is I's turn. You are incapacitated.
Cheers.
You can do nothing.
Great.
But at the end of your turn, you are no longer incapacitated. That is Elowen's turn.
That mist.
Yeah.
I can go near this person, or I don't want to step into something.
So here's how that works. It is an effect that just think of it. Yeah, mechanically, this won't make sense to you very much, but it will make sense to other people and to our listeners. It's like a breath weapon for a dragon. It has what's called a recharge. So essentially, he can't use that every turn. Every turn he rolls a die, and if he rolls a 5 or a 6, he gets it. A 4, 5, or 6, he gets it back. If not, he can't use it again. And it's one time, and then it's gone.
Cool,
so
I
it
can
doesn't
approach that
leave a
area.
lingering.
Fine.
It's not like web where it stays there.
Well, I guess I'm going to attack.
Yep.
Are you gonna leap over the table at him?
Literally.
Yeah, run in.
Yeah.
Right. I'm all about this.
Like sliding over the bonnet of a car.
Yeah.
I'm not that cool.
Okay, like shuffling
Not
over
with
the
that.
Yeah, like
The table just
Stop you! Like a tomboy from Final Fantasy.
and that is an 18 to hit.
that hits.
So that is
Biff him. Go on, biff him.
that is 10.
Biff the boy. Yep.
And that is 16.
Just hits.
Then that is 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll use my dagger.
Yep.
That doesn't. There's no. Actually, you know what? No, it doesn't.
The vex quality with your short sword on that attack would allow you to roll the next one with advantage.
Oh, because it's not just my short sword. It actually
it
goes
just does
into
it
my
to your next attack.
Then it hits for 16 before I even add my modifier.
Again, hits. Every now and then, I know our listeners won't get this, but every now and then I look over because I see something in my periphery, and it's just Alex's head, just his head above the. I've never seen anyone commit to the bit so much.
Please.
Actually, that's not true. He ran around in episode 50 to show us how fast
So
he
at the
was
beginning,
running.
Alex said he wanted a low-key episode.
Yeah, Alex is not feeling very well, and he was like, "I'm worried about my energy levels." He's chosen to crouch.
Oh no, he's sitting cross-legged.
sitting
He's
cross-legged.
very
I
comfortable.
hate
Oh,
it.
baby.
That's 10.
That's 10 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, no, that's fine. I'm not going to do anything else.
Okay.
Go on.
You slash into him, and he's wearing like this kind of like shards of leather, shards of metal armor, and you find some of those weak points in his armor. And he sort of looks up at you. You see this hand that he had up with all this kind of mist returning back into what looks like a wound that's been badly wrapped and kind of rotting at the center of his hand. And he pulls it down. You kind of carve these slashes into him, and he looks at you and smiles, and he says, "Now I like this." And he is going to use a legendary action at the end of your turn, and he's just going to regain some HP. I'm not going to tell you how much. This guy's a boss. Dolly, that is your turn.
She's just gonna saunter up to him, put a little hand under his chin and be like, "Is it just the cards, or are you looking a little flushed?" And she's gonna cast Bestow Curse, which is a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. He has a +5 to wisdom saving throws. I will roll in front of the table. Okay. In front of the screen. That is a 16, becomes a 21. Jeez.
Okay. Nothing happens.
So he's not looking that
really
flushed.
stupid.
He's not looking
Quite
that
pasty.
flushed.
And then I'm also going to use a bonus action to regain some health for me, please.
I'll let you. While you're calculating that health, he is going to use another legendary action.
Oh, fuck off.
And he says, he looks at you, Dolly, and he says, "We'll see who comes out worse then." And he lashes down with his whip on you. He rolls a nat 1.
Good.
That is Radiant Thornbear's turn. You are incapacitated. Your turn ends. You are no longer incapacitated. Helnis, the Dragonborn Druid.
Yes.
Or should I say, Mr. Steve Chase.
Spoon carver at law.
Steve Chase is
Obviously,
great spoon.
Kelner's engrossed in a book, missed everything that's happened, and just as Radiant comes out of incapacitated, he goes, "Steve!"
Doug's just like some red mist. And
Cue the 80s A-Team music.
yeah. Cool guys don't look at
Steve
explosions.
Chase, always on the prowl. Steve Chase.
Here's my card.
Okay.
Do something cool, please.
Whip out my sling.
I am going to as a bonus action,
Yep.
I'm going to cast Bark Skin on myself. It is no longer a concentration spell.
Yeah,
as
no
well.
longer concentration. Now as a bonus action, and increases your AC to 17. Now.
17.
I mean, it is the new version of Barkskin is
Useful.
for you. It's terrible for me.
I like the idea that you just like all of a sudden your skin's turned to bark and you just shut this book. And you're like, right, kids, playtime's over.
Playtime. and then I'm going to.
Mic drop.
Does it count if I cast another spell because I cast Bark Skin as a bonus action?
So you could cast a cantrip, which uses an action, but you can't cast 2 leveled spells in the same turn. So you can do now. This might not technically be rules as written, but what I'm going to say is you can do a spell that takes an action and a cantrip that takes a bonus action, or a cantrip that takes an action and a spell that takes a bonus action. But you can't do 2 leveled spells.
Sexy.
Together. So you've used your
I've used a
Spell.
a spell slot as a bonus action, so I'm going to say you can use a cantrip as an action. So if you had like Thorn Whip or whatever, you can do that because it's a cantrip.
Okay. I'm going to cast Primal Savagery on myself.
I don't know this. This is new. Tell me about Primal Savagery. Alex is very excited.
I'm down here. I'm really getting the music a lot more than normal.
Oh, the speakers are under the table,
On
aren't
the
they?
table, they are sous la table.
Oh, Jesus.
Primal Savagery. It's instantaneous.
It's almost instantaneous. It's instantaneous. It is. Depending on
It's from Xanathar's Guide to Everything, if you're looking for it. You channel primal magic to cause your teeth or fingernails, it's going to be my fingernails, to sharpen, ready to deliver a corrosive attack. Make a melee spell attack against one creature within 5 feet of you. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 acid damage.
So you've gone over to him because it's a melee spell attack, so you can't do any damage unless you're stood next to him.
Yeah, I mean, can I cast it and make the attack at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, then I'm going to do that.
That sounds cool.
So you've run over. You get all up in his business.
And I go, take this.
Make an attack then. Make a melee spell attack. So it will be a d20 plus your proficiency plus your wisdom modifier. So whatever you'd normally have as a plus for spells, it would be that. You don't.
+8.
You have a +7.
Oh my god.
Nat 20.
Yeah.
Nat 20. Great. That's amazing. So you can roll me 2d10.
Whoa!
Because we'll double the die, not double the damage. I think it's fun to roll more dice than it is to just double the damage.
Someone challenged me on that in the YouTube comments recently. I was like, no. It is double dice, then 1 proficiency bonus. That's it. Even though I'm like, I'm not good, but even I think that's...
So I roll
2d10, and that's the amount of damage that you do.
And then
So
you add
normally you would do
proficiency.
1, but because you crit,
So 10 total.
10 total. Great.
Okay.
No plus, because it's a cantrip, so you have no modifier.
He did a 9.
In fact, baby, the spell's damage increases by 1d10 when you reach 5th level, and you're already level 5. So I'll let you roll me another 2d10, because technically you roll 4d10
Double.
with a crit.
Oh my god.
That is so much.
Douglas.
2d10 on
On a
it's like
cantrip.
firebolt, isn't it? It's like a melee firebolt. I guess because
So
you have
that's
to be up
10
in the
plus
grill.
11 is 21 damage.
For a
21
cantrip?
damage.
For a cantrip.
That is absolutely wild.
Is that just because...
You're a badass.
Just because... Why?
Because the
Because cantrips, because they start off and you can use them like from level 1.
don't question
If they never increased in power, they'd get completely useless by the time you got to higher levels. So with certain cantrips like Chill Touch, Ray of Frost, Toll the Dead, Firebolt, and clearly Primal Savagery, at like 5th level, 11th level, and 17th level, they increase by 1 die. So by the time you're casting this at 17th level,
So
you'd be
you can
doing
still use
4d10. Because otherwise, by the time you like a level 20 druid, you're never using cantrips because they're so weak, they're not doing enough damage relative to the HP of the enemies you're fighting.
I only had 1d10 to roll in the first place, though.
Yes.
you crit.
So it.
you
But I
crit.
crit.
So you crit.
that's
Because you
why.
crit, you roll twice the
That's
level
why.
of normal.
Okay, so
Sexy.
I was like, what? I don't get this.
Yeah.
So critting at level 17 would give you like 8.
It would give you 8d10.
God, that's
said,
crazy.
said the little.
Said the head.
Said the rules goblin. Okay, amazing. That is back to the top of the order. That is Iago. He is going to see if he gets that back. He rolled a 2.
Yes.
So, I tell you what he's going to do. You've just done him an absolute ton of damage, Kel. You've ripped into him with like these savage claws, and you see like blood start to kind of pool in these slashes you've made in his chest. And he turns to you and smiles, and he's going to make 2 bloodlash attacks at you.
Yeah,
He's in sex cult.
Weird.
He's in the cult.
That is a 17 and a 14.
The 17 hits.
17 hits. Okay.
Well, does it? I have a 17
Yeah,
AC.
if
Beats
it
it,
matches
beats
your,
it.
if it
Yeah.
meets
If
it,
it matches,
meets
it
it,
hits.
beats it. There we go.
Meets it, beats it.
Which is also no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You know, that is 14. That is 14 necrotic damage, and you may not regain HP until the start of Iago's next turn. So you can't be healed
Interesting.
until the start of Iago's next turn. That is I's turn. Baby, you're back in business.
Coughing and spluttering and kind of.
Oh, good. Thanks for explaining.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex is dying, but the character's also coughing and spluttering.
I is gonna. Can I? Is there any sort of like light fixture above the table they were sat at? Yeah.
Yeah.
I's gonna cough and splutter and just immediately, without thinking, kick back from the chair, crossbow out, and try and shoot the sort of the attachment
Okay.
of the whatever light fixture is above.
Okay. He's in melee range with Kel and Elowin and Dolly at the moment.
Okay, so might as well just go for him.
I want to reward, but I just don't want you to be like, oh, I didn't realise they were under it.
Right. Okay.
Because I would say, if you're within melee range...
In that case, then he kicks back. He kicks back. He looks up, and as he falls, he goes, "No." And he's
Thanks,
just gonna take a shot.
With his magical Grenwyd.
magic-
Is this... Oh, no. Yeah. Is this your first time shooting
Yeah.
your magical Grenwyd crossbow?
Yeah.
So it does extra damage. It has an extra +1. It has +1 to hit, +1 to damage, and it is considered magical for the purposes of overcoming any resistances and immunities.
What's your HP before?
Well, it was full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I took.
Yeah. No,
I took
that's
24.
That's minus the spooky
Yeah.
red mist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spooky red mist.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
The
take.
energy
Very
we've come
80s,
in
isn't it?
with
It's very
today,
80s.
really.
I'm gonna take a shot at him. And that is only a 5, but I get a +9, so it's 14.
I'm afraid that misses. He has an AC of 16.
You know, I've just been hit by this red mist. There's a lot going on.
You briefly thought about killing the entire
Yeah.
party with a falling chandelier.
Again.
Every now and then, performance, you know, it's fine. It happens to the best of us.
Absolutely. You
So
shouldn't
I
feel bad.
I is falling back and just kind of like takes the shot and it whips past it over his.
I'll say
ear.
it nicks an ear and pulls out an earring just for a
Okay.
little bit of fun.
Just so you can feel a little bit better.
Pins like a beautiful golden hoop to the rear wall of the
So
space.
then what I want to do is I whip him back and kind of rolling backwards off the chair on the floor
Yeah.
and then just scoot underneath the table to hide.
Great. Roll a stealth check.
That is a 31. It was a nat 20, so
Oh my God.
Yeah, his passive perception does not spot you.
yeah.
You want a hoop
He's too distracted by it. He's like, and then
Yeah.
My earring.
Ow!
He is going to make an attack. He's going to make an attack at Dolly using a legendary action. That is a dirty 20 to hit. And he hits you for 13 necrotic damage, and you cannot regain HP till the start of your next
Okay,
turn.
I'm gonna hellish rebuke.
Okay.
Like blood for blood, and that is a saving throw for him.
What kind of saving throw?
It's Dex.
Dex.
Yeah.
He rolled a 19 on the die, becomes a 21.
So it's half as much damage though. So
He did 13 to you.
ye-
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Yes,
you meant
yes,
related to
yeah,
the
yeah.
damage that he gives.
So it's 2d10 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. So that's 9 in total. So it would be 4.
As a tiefling, is he immune to fire or resistant?
It's a resistant.
Resistant, so
Yeah,
he's going to take half of that again.
Fuck.
So it was 9, did you say?
Yes.
So it's he'd take 4.
No, well, So it would be. It was he.
Oh, so
Failed
you
save.
rolled 9.
Yes,
So you rolled 9, so he
4,
was going to
it's
take
2.
half. So it's 2.
Yeah. Dang.
That is That is. Oh yes, sorry. That I was confused. I thought we'd gone out of order, but we haven't. That's Elowen's turn.
I'm gonna hit this guy again.
Yeah.
Can I use heroic inspiration to re-roll that dice?
Absolutely. Before you know the result.
Same roll.
Okay.
Great. So that is actually going to be a 14.
A 14. So I'll say that with a 14, like you slash out to attack him with your short sword, and he like slaps the whip round, and it wraps itself round your wrist, and he manages to like divert it away before you land that blow.
And then I'm going to try and fling back and have another hit again, which does hit because that will be a 21.
21 hits, absolutely.
I'm only going to hit him for 7.
Okay. He takes it all.
Good. But while we've still got the whip on that hand, dagger up on that one, and I'm going to try and hit him with my dagger as well. That is 17 plus 9. So
Hits.
that hits. And that hits him for 10.
Okay.
So I'm going to shake that whip off, and then I'm going to use one use of second wind so that I can move 15 feet away from him without taking an opportunity attack.
Sick. Absolutely sick. Brilliant. End of your turn. He's going to look at Dolly again. He says, I think we should finish things, don't you? He takes an attack with his whip. That's a 23. And that is 17 necrotic damage.
I'm done.
As Dolly goes down, you see this like spray of blood on the whip, and he brings it up, kind of brings it through his hand, considers the blood on his hand, and sort of tastes it.
Cut that tongue out of his mouth.
That is Dolly's turn. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Come here.
At least the dress is getting some airtime.
Yeah.
It's a lovely dress.
It is a great dress.
It's definitely it's like a death
Whichever
rolling
one you want does
dress.
this one.
For sure.
Yeah.
You've got a real stare on. Are you
I'm
okay?
thinking about what I'm going to do next.
You think you've equipped?
Hypnotic
You're
gaze.
quipping, aren't you? You're running. He's like a Rolodex of quips is currently going through Ben's head.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
You're going to
Don't
quip.
worry.
Go on.
Okay. That is Radiant Thornbear's turn.
As Raiden kind of comes back to himself, he sees kind of Dolly's down. And he looks to him and goes, stop being so fucking weird. And fires, I want to do Chromatic Orb at level 3. So
Okay.
that's going to be 5d8.
Roll me the attack first. He goes, don't yuck my yum.
He doesn't.
Do I get to roll again? No.
Trying to figure out how.
How can I roll
Figure
again?
out how
Anyone
I
wanna help
roll
me?
again.
I can't lend you anything.
No, I'm just rolling terribly badly, and I go, stop being so weird. And I go to try and shoot Chromatic Orb, and nothing happens because I rolled a 2.
Okay, cool.
So it's just a very. It's just a request at this point.
Yeah.
It's just a.
Please stop being. That is Kelnis's turn. You are all up in this. You also can't regain HP until the end of his next turn, even though you're down.
Fuck.
I was going to cast Healing Word on Dolly. It wouldn't make any difference.
So part of his thing with his blood whip is the target cannot regain HP until the start of Iago's next turn. So she's already rolled 1 death save. You're going to have to bring her up after. What you can do, what you could do is you could hold your action, and you could say, I want to hold my action, and once he's taken his turn, I want to use my action to bring her back up. I'll allow you to do that, to sort of wait, but it makes you vulnerable in the meantime.
Okay. Fuck.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question with death saves? The next roll, if she fails the death save, it's best of 3, right?
But if it's an out 1, then it's worth 2.
So there's a situation where people can perma-die after a second death save, yeah.
Fantastic.
Jeez.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. I'm going to hold my action,
Okay, yeah.
and I'm going to hold the action and cast Healing Word when that action comes back around on Dolly.
Yeah. Okay. That is his turn. So we go back to the top of the order. That is Iago's turn. He's going to attack you, Kelnis. You're the only one who stood next to him. I tell you what. I need to roll to find out whether or not he regains his thing. He fucking didn't. He is going to... He's going to take 2 attacks at you, Kel.
Okay.
With his blood whip. The first, I'm going to roll them both together. He rolls a 10 becomes a 19 and an 8 becomes a 17.
That's 2 hits.
So that's 2 hits. So, and tell you what, I'll just do this and add a +10 to it.
Sure.
Yeah, cool.
Sure.
Thanks, mate.
Why not?
I rolled incredibly well.
Oh my god. Oh no, he looks scared.
That's 42 damage.
That's me down.
Oh my god.
I rolled 2 10s, an 8 and a 4 +10.
Your healer is kissing the floor.
Yeah, both are.
of them.
Yeah.
That is...
Yes, yeah,
that is...
So what do I even put in here? That'll just take me negative.
Yeah.
You just go 0. You just go to 0. That is I's turn.
Oh my god, because now there's an extreme amount of pressure of do I try and like hit him for a hell of a damage or I can't, I've got to, who do I, oh my god.
And also,
decision paralysis.
Cal can't be healed until the end of his
I
next
know,
turn.
but all I've got is a good berry. So, I mean, all I'm thinking is hold my action for the moment it comes round to...
You can heal Dolly now. It's the end of his turn.
Oh, it is the end of his turn.
You can't heal Cal because Cal can't be healed until the end of
Are we
his
saying
next
this is a full action or a bonus?
Roll me a dexterity check.
Oh, that's how bad it is. Harry's being lenient.
Oh my god.
So you have proficiency to in dex, right?
That is a 23.
That you can, yeah. Well, you can do a good berry like you can do a heal, like you can sod it. You can give 1 HP.
Okay. So I'm going to use that as so that's a bonus.
Bonus action.
Okay, great.
Yeah, no worries.
So in that case,
Also,
then-
you're hidden, so I'll say you're able to slide underneath the table and just go pop.
I like the idea of
Yeah.
scurrying.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to click my heels because I didn't at the beginning.
Totally.
To work out how long I've got. I've only got 2 turns of this speed. Your face just then.
Mate, I'm having the time of my life.
No.
We were sat around our dining table night before last, and yesterday we were doing work at the dining table, and Harry's like, to my partner, I think I'm going to try and kill them.
I say this every session.
Okay, so I'm gonna before I skedaddle over, because it is a skedaddle.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Of all of the I'm gonna crouching prone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna frantically re-racking, seeing just one body and another body.
Yeah.
Re-racking, and then I pull my hood back, lying down, take aim, and let loose a bolt.
Yeah.
And that is a 19.
Hits.
Great.
He doesn't have anyone within. You're within 5 feet. She's conscious within 5 feet.
Yeah. I was about to say, I just suddenly panicked in that moment. Okay, great. So I'm going to do my 1d8 plus 6. Where's my d8? I'm in a state of panic.
I can tell I'm loving it.
Like your breath.
That's a 5 plus 6.
Yep, 11.
So that's 11. And then I'm not going to forego any of my sneak attack dice. I'm going to use 3d6.
Yeah.
To just...
Don't worry, you're good, you got this.
Oh, he's just a provincial little small town baddie. Tell you what, he's dangerous.
Oh my god, that's only 6 extra.
Okay.
And then I'm going to dash forward, frantically pull out this good berry, and I'm just kind of like, there's so many little things.
Yeah, pull out a wine
Jeez.
gum.
Pretty seashells have fallen off.
He forces a wine gum and a seashell down Tolly's neck before he actually
An
gets a good
acorn.
note. Oh my god!
And for some reason, I'm looking at it going, that wine gum looked like it had a face. And that's why you need to turn up to serving cantrip.
Because you'd get that joke if you watched Serving Cantrip.
And I put the good berry in Dolly's mouth.
Dolly gets 1 HP.
And I'm kind of under the table,
Yeah.
doing that, reaching out, boom.
Trying to
and
get
then
his seashells back.
frantically scrambling back.
You can scramble back, but you can't hide because you've
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I'm going to scramble back again to the furthest table.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not hidden. He knows I'm there.
Yeah.
Love that for you.
It's that's Elowen's turn.
Gonna do what I do best. I'm gonna go back in and
Yeah.
try and hit this guy.
Yeah.
That was really good.
And that is a 17. No, that is a 19.
Hits either way.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it
Do
critical?
you crit on a 19?
I do crit.
Yeah.
On mine. No, I didn't.
No, that
I
was a
didn't
19
roll a
modifier.
20.
Can we just
That
go back
only
and cut
hit.
that bit out?
That one hits for 7,
7.
and then I hit again, and that hits for 9,
Okay.
and then I hit with a 21,
Okay.
and that hits for 8,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna action surge.
Okay.
That's a nat 1.
Okay.
But I can re-roll it because I hit my last. Oh no, I got his nick.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna roll again.
Yeah, but you can roll with advantage every time. Once you've used the short sword, which has Vex,
Yeah.
you can roll with advantage on every attack after.
Yeah. So that now I've hit,
Great.
and that hits for 12.
Shit.
And then my second attack, because I get 2.
We do need it. We need
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
Need
do.
it.
That
please.
hits again because it's an 18,
Yeah.
and that hits for 12.
Oh my god.
Wow. I'm kissing the floor, but I'm going.
Yeah, man. He's still up. That's the end of your turn.
Yeah. What was the total of that? Did you even get the total of that?
I was doing it as we went. That was 7 plus 7. So, okay, I can just figure this out. That was 48 damage.
Okay.
Oh my god.
But if my calculations are correct, and I imagine no one will tell me if they're not.
Someone.
I
Yeah.
imagine everyone will just be totally chill with it if I'm wrong. That is that the end of your turn?
It is actually.
Okay, he is going to. He reaches down to his hand again, where Dolly's blood is still on the hand, and mixes it with Kelnis and licks it, and he's going to regain some HP.
The licking. I'm going to be pleased when the licking stops.
Stop doing it! Don't yuck my yum. That is Dolly's turn.
He's still in melee range of me, right?
He is. He's within 5 feet of you. Yeah.
Fucking- I can't get out of there really, and so it's either damage or heal myself, and I don't really know what to do. So I'm just gonna. I think we're just gonna have to stack damage. So I'm gonna look to Elwyn, look to him, and say, "As you can probably guess, we're done fucking around." And I'm gonna cast Shatter at level 3.
I'm sorry, at which point was I fucking
Level
around?
3.
At no point have I been fucking
What's
around.
the save? What's the
I
save?
have been.
Yeah.
On 15.
He has
You done anything?
plus.
Radiant, don't do it.
He has a plus
actually done
8. He has a
anything.
really
Stop
high con.
it, says Radiant.
That's a 6. Becomes a 14.
Fail.
Oh
Yes.
So that's 3d8 thunder
Is that a
damage.
celebration?
No, it is. It's a celebration because he missed by 1.
Oh, I
So
see.
he failed by 1. He has a plus 8 to constitution.
Jesus.
He has proficiency. So when you get to certain levels of monsters, they have they get proficiency. Like you guys
Yeah.
get proficiency
Yeah.
in certain roles.
Yes.
It's all right.
Yeah, but
8 plus 6 is 14.
14 damage.
Yeah. For you?
Great.
And I'm going. I'm going to cast Bardic Inspiration at Radiant, who's next, right?
Because he needs it.
He is next. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elwyn and Dolly, roll me a luck check. What did you get, Elwyn?
I only got a 7.
What did you get, Dolly?
13.
13. He rolled an 8, so he's going to go for Elwyn. He uses his last legendary action of the round, rolls an attack at you. He rolls a
1 HP, so
14.
He misses.
Okay. Lashes that whip. Like you can see that he's starting to he regained some HP and then was immediately hit again. And you can see the first little tremor of self-doubt starting to creep into his eyes. That is Radiant's turn.
I don't think you heard me before. I said stop being weak. And he tries to do exactly the same thing again.
Chromatic
Cast
orb level
3.
Level 3.
Yeah.
did it just get stuck in the tower?
Stuck.
remember you have Bardic Inspiration.
Oh no.
You have Bardic Inspiration, so you can add a D8
8.
to the roll. What did you roll?
Fucking need it.
You didn't roll a nat 1, did you?
No.
Okay, fine.
I rolled a 2, which with my thing would be a 7. So no, it would be a 9. So
So you can hit it with a D8.
Yeah.
You'd have to roll a d8. You know his AC is 16, so you need to roll a 7 or higher on this d8 to hit. Or you don't use it, or you save it for something else.
No, I need this.
You've done nothing so far.
That's the spirit. Everyone's worried.
I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. So nervous.
I think you had a d8 just then, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a D, right?
No, that's a d10, so you had just
More
had a D8,
diamondy, yeah.
Thank you.
7 or higher. Come on. Do you want to do it in... Oh, it doesn't matter.
No.
Is it 6?
It was a 6.
I'm afraid not. Kelnis, come here, please.
What do I have to roll?
I'll show you.
D20.
Okay.
So you'll roll this. Without reacting, you need to roll a 10. Oh, no, you can roll your own. You can absolutely roll your own. 10 or higher.
By the way, everyone can do that.
Yeah.
Just
No. Behind here so they can't see. Okay? Don't...
But now that's happened, Kel can.
No, it's the end of
Oh, end.
Iago's turn. That is now Iago's turn. He takes...
Go on then.
He wants to get to you.
Cool.
Don't they all?
He gets his thing back. He's going to center it on Radiant,
Yeah.
which is going to hit Elowen.
Okay.
Can you both roll me Constitution saving throws?
Okay, that needs to stop. That needs to, I'm rolling it by myself because that's
What did you get, Elowen?
19.
You pass?
18.
You pass. Okay, so you are going to take half of this, and you are not going to be incapacitated. So, so chill. Not only is it fine, it's fun. We're all having the same amount of fun.
I think the fun is imbalanced.
That is 15 plus 12 is 27. You guys take 13.
Okay.
And
That is necrotic
I
damage.
go down.
What?
Roll me a...
Oh my god.
Fucking hell. Sorry.
Okay. Roll me a DC 5 Constitution saving throw. You just have to beat a 5.
Oh, he's rolling great.
You have to beat a 5.
I call on the deck of many friends.
Oh my god.
Because for a moment, Radiant, you die. There is a moment where you've seen people drop, and you've seen people fall and they breathe. And Radiant falls, and he falls like he has been detached from a source of life. He falls like a puppet with his strings cut. And Radiant, you see for a moment black. Just black. And then there's a noise in your ears. And you're surrounded by black water, and you look up towards the surface, and there is pain everywhere and all at once, and you are falling from the light. And you realize you're dying. And with your last thought, you call on the deck.
Holy crap.
Let me just check
It's
out.
just a card game.
Fucking Christ.
Is that why we're getting a deck of cards out?
And you will add it will replace your roll, so you would add your modifier to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had enough now. I want to get off.
Oh my god.
How do we do it? We fan them out and you pick one? What do we do?
Yeah.
Or do we do last time we did it where you put them out and I
Should we
just
do that?
stop? Yeah. Stop. The one that
one or
you
am I
just had your
bouncing?
hand on there.
I really didn't think we'd be dipping back into the cards like this.
I think we need to.
I know, but I didn't think it'd be this soon.
Jesus Christ.
Through the water, you hear those whispers that you heard before, but coming through water. And the rest of you see as this card emerges from the pack in Radian's bag, emerges from the leather pouch, and you see it spinning and spinning, and you hear these whispers rising and rising and rising and rising and rising. And they coalesce into a name, and you hear Erastus. It's a 2. What's your plus to Constitution?
It's a 2.
Radiant dies. And you watch as a skeletal man emerges from the deck. And he is sunken-eyed, and his face is gaunt, and he carries 2 daggers. He's sort of smartly turned out. He's in an overcoat, but he looks cold, shivering as he emerges from the dagger. And he goes, and he breathes out, and you see that his breath, even in the warmth of this room, is mist and fog. And you watch as he breathes out, he then breathes in, and the last wisp of breath comes out of Radian's mouth and starts to travel towards this man's.
Dolly's gonna stand up. She's gonna say, I didn't force the cards before. I'm gonna force them now. I wanna pull another card.
Okay. You can pull 1 card to cancel this card. Where? Okay.
Hands
Allow
are
me
all
to have.
sweaty.
Allow,
I know, mine too.
allow me to do a little shuffle. Okay. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
This is to replace the Constitution saving throw.
I didn't like the face.
This gaunt figure breathing the last, sort of sucking the last of Radian's life force into him. It reaches these pale, almost purple lips. And then there are more whispers from the card as Dolly calls out. And another card as if twisting from a single thread. And it turns and it twists and you hear, and this is the silliest name, you hear, Jaxie Flaxseed. Turn it over.
It's a nat 20.
It's a nat 20. Oh my God. Right.
I'm literally shaking right now.
And in stark contrast to what there was before, where Erastus Gracie emerged from the cards, Jaxie Flaxseed, the Tabaxi Taxi, shout out Robbie Damon, he sort of emerges like a bundle of energy, like a mystical high fantasy Tigger into the center of this space. He's like,
Woo! How are y'all doing?
and he turns to Erastus, watches Erastus pulling this life force into his mouth. He goes, God, Gracie, and just slaps the life force away from Erastus's lips. It goes, and it slips back into Radian. With a nat 20, you pass that previous Constitution saving throw. You are back up. You take half the damage rather than the full damage.
Thank you, Robbie Damon.
And then And then suddenly there are these sort of two mystical figures looking at each other. Iago is stood there. Iago's never seen anything like this in his fucking life. And he's going, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'll say with a nat 20, Jaxie is going to attack Erastus. And so the negative effects that Erastus was going to give to the party, I'm going to have them roll... I'm just going to roll two. I'm going to roll a d20 with advantage for Jaxie. In fact, let's have Radian roll that.
Oh, because that's been going well.
And I'm going to have...
really.
Or would you like... I'll tell you what.
I don't want anything to do with it.
And we're going to have a d20, which you're going to roll for Erastus.
And shout out to Andy Farron.
Andy Farron. And
Nearly killing.
He's going to be so excited. He's going to be, of all the people, the most excited that he nearly killed a character. So whatever you roll goes against whatever you roll on your 2 die as the highest, and whichever one of those things happens will be the kind of special ability of that creature.
It's been a lot for Hollie.
So,
For everybody.
yeah.
A 2.
A 2. You have to roll higher than a 2 with 2d20.
Let's
Let's not count our chickens, kids.
an 18 and a 4.
An 18 and a 4. Okay. Here is what you can do. He can offer you an instant escape in his magical cab. Or you can all +5 to your next attack roll as a one-off. What do you fancy?
My gut says a +5.
Let's fuck him up.
You've
mean-
done a lot of damage to him.
Yeah, that's true.
But also we do have
I can't add to this conversation.
Yeah.
Kel is
I'm
down, yeah.
drinking beer off the floor.
I'll say to your next d20 roll. So it would cover your death save.
Oh, okay.
So you can add a +5 buff to your next roll of a d20, or he can get you out of here.
Are we fucking him up?
I think we're fucking
I'm fucking him up.
Let's fuck him up.
Okay, let's do it.
That is the end of Iago's turn. Iago takes his whip and tries to lash through Jaxie Flaxseed.
Which is just really creepy to say.
And Jaxie Flaxseed is non-corporeal. You can't fuck with Jaxie Flaxseed. He lashes his whip through Erastus Gracie. Erastus, if anything, seems to be kind of into it, but you still can't fuck with Erastus Gracie. And Erastus tries to, you see him start to bring his hands up, these daggers in each hand, and you can see through the floorboards that little things are starting to emerge that look like mummified, rotten bugs, the bones of mice, trying to push their way through the floorboards. And Jaxie smacks his tail on the ground, and they all drop back into the void space underneath the base of this tavern. That is that is I's turn.
I stands up just head above the table and just goes, "See? We can all does weird things."
I would stop doing weird things.
And I mean, I am gonna take a shot at him
Yep.
because I've got nothing to heal with now.
Make your attack, baby.
Well, I've got 1 HP, but sure.
But I've got nothing that I can
Yeah,
heal
no,
with.
go for
You know,
it.
like
Kelnis can now be healed. It was the end of Iago's turn.
that is a 14, but it's plus my 9.
Hits.
So yeah. So my 1d8 plus 6 does an 11, and then my 3d6 is going to do an extra 8. So that's 19.
He stumbles back as this bolt goes into him. He stumbles back into the card table, spills the cards. He briefly kind of goes over, looks up at you. This guy is on death's door. He is going to twirl his... You're still on the ground, right? You haven't even stood up. He's going to take a hit at Elowen, like a mad, like just
I've got
mad
my
last...
bonus
Yeah.
action. I mean, I can't really, I don't really have an awful lot to do with it, but what I am going to do is run forward, dash forward, and I'm just gonna unsheath 2 daggers, and I'm just going to stand looking at him. I can't attack, but
You can't do an offhand attack with a dagger as a bonus action.
Only when I have 2-weapon fighting, and that's with dagger. But I'm just going to go and stand over Kelness's body, just 2 daggers ready.
Like a little puppy.
Yeah.
Amazing. I think he might take a slash at you then, buddy.
Okay.
Whips the dagger round towards you. That's a 7 on the die, becomes a 16.
Armor class 16.
Okay, so it does hit. And he rolled, that is 14 necrotic damage.
Uncanny dodge.
That is 7 necrotic damage.
And I take the damage, and I get whipped, and I look up at Elowen and I go, fucks him up.
Elowen,
I'm going to try and fuck him up.
you have +5.
Yeah. So that would be, I can +5 to that, so it's 5, 6, 7, 8, plus my 9 to hit.
19. So what's that? 17.
Yeah.
Hits.
Yeah.
Needed it.
Yeah.
That 5, without that 5, you wouldn't have done it.
And that hits for 9.
Elowen.
We told you to stop being fucking weird. And as I'm actually going to take my sword to the back of his leg, take him down,
Yeah.
and I'm going to kneel on his arm,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to take that hand,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to take my sword and
Yeah.
take that hand off.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to finish him
Yeah.
straight across the throat.
And he drops to his knees, holds his one hand up to his throat, and then falls forward onto the floor. And we are out of combat.
Oh my god.
And Erastus Gracie turns to you, Radiant, says,
I meant no offense.
and turns into dust. And Jaxie Flaxseed
Best boy.
says, times are wasting. Best hop aboard. And this spectral, brightly coloured taxi carriage, almost like a kind of, almost like a tuk-tuk, emerges. And he jumps in it, and like a rickshaw. And he whistles and
I immediately turn around to Radiant. I'm actually quite upset. I'm like, if you do that again, I will fucking kill you.
I'm sorry, I was trying to be cool and stuff, and all the coolness kind of got in the way. I didn't want to scare you.
No. And then I turn around to Pennick and I'm like, you don't go anywhere.
yeah, I really appreciate that. Sorry, that was a lot.
Sheaths his daggers, drops down, gets underneath
Yep.
Kelness's head,
Yep.
and just looks up at Dolly and says, "Do something."
And I immediately cast Healing Word, just to get him up again. Then I'll just roll. It's 1d4 plus 4. That's 7 HP. Then I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna pick up the deck that Iago was using and go. Luck wasn't on his side today. And then I'm gonna search his body.
Okay, roll me an investigation check.
Not very good. It's just a 7.
Okay, roll me 3d10.
Uh-oh. Why?
Don't touch
You
the
go down.
You
He was wearing a vest.
He was. Just, I had spikes on him, and you're dead.
12.
Okay, you find 12 gold.
Okay.
On his in
pay
a
me
pouch.
Yep.
But yeah,
And I go, I look up and I,
Big scale.
what I miss.
You know what? We'll fill you in next time we're around a campfire. It's quite the tale, Radiant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite the tale. Guys, I think I died.
Yeah, Radiant, I think you did die.
You died.
you died. Yannick is also here.
Be quiet.
Sorry.
How does he know? I don't know, it just went black.
What did you feel?
Nothing.
No gods, nothing.
Nothing.
Well, we know there's no gods.
Well, you're back now.
What happened? I remember calling on the deck, and then there was this, and then there was that. What happened?
Dolly happened.
What do you mean Dolly happened?
Just got lucky.
Really lucky.
What happened?
A horrible deck of cards happened.
Turns out the deck isn't always our friend.
Well, whoever it was, thank you. I don't think I would have survived.
I need a drink.
So the gods did not leave us anywhere to go once we die.
A question that needs a little bit more wine and a lot more thought. But right now, I say we talk to you, and I just point at Bennett.
Yes, of course. Well, anything I can do to be of assistance, or that was quite the shock for all of us. I think. I mean, we all. And
Stop talking.
Yeah.
Because we're going to need you to do a little favor for us.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. I mean, anything I could do to be of service. I would
Until we say
acquiesce.
talk.
Yes. No, you did say. You're right. You're right. I'm very bloody, and he is like covered in blood from being slashed
Yeah,
at.
you and us both. Deal with it.
Yes.
I just wants to walk up to him with this 1,000-yard stare of just like this new information, just looks at him and just slaps him across the face.
Yes.
The Reeve is going to ask something of you, and you are going to agree to it. You are going to make the entire college agree to it, and you'll agree to it quickly and without complaint.
Well, what? When he looks at Dolly, he realizes he's spoken without. She nods.
Every one of the learned friends will comply with whatever the Reeve asks as quickly as possible, and you will make it happen.
It would be not only an honor, but a privilege.
That's what I thought. And I literally will pick him up by the scruff of his collar off the floor. I'm going to drag him to the door. I'm going to open the door.
Yeah.
I'm going to push him out, and I'm going to go, 2 bottles, Elvish Red, now.
Great.
And some food.
There's blood
And a snack dragon ball.
everywhere.
Darling.
I want to walk over to the whip on the floor and very tentatively and carefully just pick it up.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 9.
Okay, you take, roll me 2d6. 2d8, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm looking at my 2d6.
That's a 5.
You take 5 necrotic damage.
I drops it immediately.
You can roll. You can investigate it. You can roll Arcana on it if you like, or you can roll Religion or Investigation if you want to try and figure out what
I
happened.
drops it and holds my hand out to Radian and says, "What is this?"
Still kind of not quite with it, kind of stumbles over towards it, and I would like to I'd like to investigate it, please.
Sure. Yeah, you can roll Investigation, or if you have proficiency in Arcana, you can roll an Arcana.
Same.
Cool.
Can you stop rolling?
technically being helped right now.
Oh, technically could be being helped. I think
Do I
Dolly's
get a
giving
plus
him.
5 as well to my next D20
You
roll?
do get a +5 to your next D20 roll, and you can take the help action from Dolly if you want. You can roll twice to
I'd
the
love
highest.
to definitely take the highest. Great. I mean, he investigates it incredibly well this time. Thank you, Dolly. It seems
Group
you are helping me a lot. It's a 20 whatever.
It's a 21. Okay.
That's a bit like a
it's a 20
28.
something. 28. Right. This is. You can only use this if you are evil aligned. So you guys can't wield it without having to take necrotic damage while you're using it.
Okay, so I is gonna take a chair, like almost like a plow, and just using the chair, just push it away.
Yeah, amazing, great. And after that, there's like the door is sort of like, you know, when someone like opens it with their bum, like leaning through, and it's Pennick who has 2 2 bottles of Arat Hills.
The good stuff.
Yeah. Whispering Eladrin.
That's the best thing you've said.
And also he has a series of Kelnis's spoons with beautiful single bites on them. There's a kind of sashimi-style raw fish from Seren. There's a beautiful little kind of bits of tempura. For some reason, there's like a whole Sunday roast and a small Yorkshire pudding, because apparently that's really
It's like a
classy
video
as
game
well.
It's a video game event with like cottage pies and shit.
There's tiny
Sliders.
rolls of fish and chips. And he puts them down on the card table. He says, I've informed Broderick I'll be paying for the renovation of the... You've saved me rather a lot of money. I didn't want to be difficult, but I owed, and he gestures to Iago, I owed him a lot, and he wanted to collect, and he needed, I needed the protection of the college.
We've all been in a situation where we've had to look to people that we rather wouldn't for help. We get it.
Yes. But and he looks to you and he says, it hurt you rather badly, I understand. Roll me an insight check.
Oh,
Why are you rolling so?
no, it's fine this time.
Because you haven't used the tower.
It's a 16.
Stop using the tower.
He seems really quite emotional at the idea that you were in such... I mean, I think he watched all this happen as well. He's quite emotional at the thought that you nearly died, or even if he doesn't understand that you died, that really awful stuff was happening. And you can tell you can absolutely, I mean, like, you can smell highborn Escalon from a mile off. All of you can, because you've all been there. There is not a chance in hell that he was not at the masquerade drinks. 100% he would have been with there. Probably like very good friends with the Dakars. Like absolutely
Lemon
moves in those lemon wine. Like grows those poisonous shit in his garden. Grows lamantine in his garden. Like all this kind of stuff. And he has never. He's never experienced. He's never been hurt like that, and he's never seen anyone else get hurt like that. And you can read in him a deep regret and sadness. Really, I'm really very sorry about that. I didn't think it would get so out of hand.
Radiant walks over to him, puts his hand on his shoulder, and then you get very close, so you can see his face, and he goes, worse things have happened to me in my life. Don't beat yourself up about it.
He reaches into into his kind of belt area, and he pulls off a bag, not dissimilar size to the deck of many friends. Roll me a d6.
Thanks.
1?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's 100 gold in this. He says, it's not a lot, really. It is. It's nothing. It's a token, but...
Keep it.
Right here.
I walks up and puts his hand on his side and goes,
Worse things has happened to me.
Keep the money.
I'll leave it as a tip.
No, keep the money. We didn't do it for money.
Oh. Why does anyone...
Keep the money.
Right. A man of culture.
A man who wants something else.
Oh, what you said with the acquiescence and the... Yes.
Your decision to help the Reeve is going to potentially save a lot of people's lives in the future.
Oh, well, of course. Of course.
Can I want
The money?
I want to be stealthy about it.
Yeah?
I'm just gonna go up to him and be like, not really that cultured, to be honest.
Oh, you... Oh, absolutely. And hands the money to Dolly.
You buy your own
But I
drinks.
appreciate you very much looking at Radiant. That was a marvellous gesture. Well, I'll leave you to your... And he looks at the spoons and says, these are marvellous spoons. And then heads back out through into the main body of the tavern. And the 5 of you are left alone.
I'd beeline for the wine.
Yep.
Oh my God, it's the best stuff.
I bet it is.
The stuff that he had that he was pouring you before was the 10 gold pieces wine.
Yep.
And then I said, oh, it's 10 gold pieces. And you were like, or I think it said 8 gold pieces for a bottle of wine. And you were like, 8 gold pieces each. And I was like, no, they exist. Not only do they exist, this is that wine.
Yep.
This is 40 gold pieces a bottle of wine. This is from the cellar. This is dusty. This is the great. You've had good stuff, Dolly. You've had good stuff, Elowen. This is without doubt the best wine you've ever had.
Cheers to that.
Oh, we're not sharing. No. It's a bottle each.
Yeah, it's a bottle each.
You guys wanted to be all like, oh, you keep it. I'm not. And children don't drink.
No, I is helping himself. I pause
You get a little sip from my cup.
I again, still with the 1,000-yard stare, just struggling to comprehend the idea of
The gods has left us nothing beyond.
You really saw nothing?
I saw nothing.
I still know nothing. What happened?
I don't know, it was a blur. I was attacked, I went down. With my last breath, I felt the deck of cards calling to me. And then there was nothing. And then from nothing, there was something. But I remember emptiness. And not with any emotion, not any feeling. Nothing.
You died.
It would seem that way.
There was a man. Tall grey man. With...
pulls out both daggers and sticks them in the table.
2 blades. And... he... breathed you in. All of you.
I will say this as well. We kind of lost it in the excitement of what was happening. None of you know what the hell a tabaxi is. You've never seen one. They don't exist.
Yeah.
So a big cat, a much larger than average, sort of pale cat, came out of a card. You've never. It was like an alien came out of a card.
I wish I'd seen that.
Oh, Doug and Kelmis.
Oh, boys.
Oh, boys.
The deck is volatile, and it almost made a bad situation much worse. But then it, course corrected.
What happens if the deck makes a bad situation worse and you tries to fix it with the deck and it is worse again?
Then we deal with the consequences. That's how magic works.
Well, glad you're still with us.
Yeah, me too. I was starting to like you all.
Something like that.
At this point, there's a little knock on the door, and both Broderick and Finley emerge, wheeling buckets with mops over their shoulders, and look in and go, "Oh no!
Don't touch the whip. Don't touch the whip. It's a thing."
Who was he to everyone?
Just a bastard, really.
He was a very powerful bastard.
Hence him wielding it.
Did everyone a favor.
I think you did.
Did he have lodgings anywhere?
Black Cat I heard he used to take a room at, but beyond that, not an awful lot. This is a mess.
We're good at what we did.
There's a load of dead. There's dead stuff in, but look at the cracks, Dad. And he's looking down in the cracks, and you look down into the cracks, and you can just see like a mass of like dead things. Almost, in oh God, what was that zombie film? Something Z. World War Z, where they're like climbing up and like making piles of themselves. It was like dead bugs, dead flies, the bones of dead rodents climbing up to try and force their way out into the floor.
I just sighed. Takes a sip of his wine.
Oh, I love it. I love it when you do this.
Little bit
I
of
love it.
little bit of diegetic sound, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to open a can of Red Bull as well, so that'll happen.
Clicks his heels, just runs over and grabs the mop and literally just sprinting around
you
the room.
beautiful boy.
He's fast, but he's clearly an idiot.
Yeah, roll me an acrobatics check with advantage to see how well you do this.
Okay.
Because it's adorable.
Oh.
Hey, he's rubbish.
I would have taken that. That's
I
a
mean,
19.
it's still,
With
it's a 19 plus an 8, so
Yeah,
it's a 27.
It's like the most boring superpower of all time, but my God, it's effective. He can clean a room real quick.
Yeah.
And also, within kobold culture, you would have done, like, every domestic chore you would have done at some point.
And I sort of like whips around the room, finishes,
Pitch the whip up around the room.
and literally just runs back to them again with the mop, clicks his heels, just kind of hands it over, walks back over to the table, and with the remainder of the wine just next to the whole thing.
And we'll take a little break now, I think.
Oh, hey, how are you? I absolutely did see you there. Don't be ashamed. I see you every episode. Looking, lingering, lusting, longing for my dice set, of course. My large, weighty, sexy, scarred metal dice set. Get your mind out of the gutter. I wasn't going to say penis. It's physically impossible for you to see it from this vantage point. But you can touch it too, as many times as you want. At a discount. I'm still talking about my dice set, of course. Because they're not any old dice set. They're a Tabletop Dominion dice set. A premium UK-based dice company for all your dice-based needs. But Ben, my perfectly sculpted, beautiful fingers are too delicate and fine to be wrapped around such a weighty package. Don't worry if metal's too much or too little. They've got sets in acrylic and resin for that perfectly curated rolling sensation. They also do them in wood. That's a penis joke. With a range that's constantly expanding, Tabletop Dominion have one of the largest selection of dice sets available in the UK, and there's so much more to discover. So head on over to tabletopdominion.com and have a look for yourself. We at Natural Six all use them because they're that good. They even have sets designed around different classes, making that search for your perfect dice set that much quicker. Unless you like it slow, in which case take as much time as you need. And from now until Christmas Day, you can get 15% off at tabletopdominion.com with the offer code THENATURAL6. So there is literally no better time to feel my dice. That's 15% off with the code THENATURAL6 at tabletopdominion.com. Tabletop Dominion, putting the top dom in and on in Tabletop Dominion.
And we're back.
Physically, spiritually.
Emotionally, maybe never.
In a way, we both left for a long time and never left.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was a funny ad read.
I wonder if there was a lot of bum work in that.
You are big into bum.
Did I
work
speak
at the
about a
moment.
willy this time? Maybe.
No, but there was much discussion of poo.
A lot of poo.
There's so much
is.
poo.
Willie, yeah.
So, it's the five of you. You've finished your wine. You've had your small bites on the spoons, which actually do work remarkably well. As you feel fancy, even you, Kel, who is not a fancy eater, you feel quite fancy.
I thought they were regular size.
Regular sized portions, absolutely. Yeah.
A meal fit for a kobold.
The eye has mopped up, which is marvellous. The body of Iago is still here, but Broderick and Finley tell you that they can
not my
deal
problem.
with
Just to say, I has mopped up to a certain point. Like there is on the walls, there's a point at which I could not mop any higher. So there is like just
there's like a perfect line.
It's concept art.
Well, I say we head back to Eris.
Yeah, probably not a bad shout. Don't see why we need to stick around. Although it is getting late.
Well, I hope Eris would also find a place for us to stay.
I got us rooms here. I mean,
Oh,
I
I'm
can
sure they're
try
going
and
to
get
be
our
thrilled to
money
have us tonight. But yes, fair.
Use a good sleep.
Rest first, Eris tomorrow.
Taco.
I don't think there's tacos in Yannick, but
No, they don't go anywhere.
Listen, you've all had a tough time. The Kellners can't get tacos, for God's sake. Not even soft shell.
Before we leave the room or anything, I'm going to wander over to Iago and just roughly kick him aside, but I'm just going to touch his shadow. Just in case.
Amazing.
Can I try and bundle the whip, not touching it? I want to take off my cloak,
Yep.
and I want to try and pick it up.
Your cloak of many fashions.
Yeah, and use it sort of like to bundle the whip into my backpack.
Roll me a sleight of hand check and just see if you can do it without kind of getting the...
That is a, that's a 30.
Yes. Yes, it turns out you can.
Okay, so I'm going to bundle the whip.
Into your pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Womble. Like, if we leave anything behind, you're going to grab it.
Okay, cool.
Sleep.
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 And you're taking your rooms here?
Yes, I believe so.
Great.
Yeah.
So you go through the kitchen, and you can see that they've that Broderick and Finley are ready with buckets and sponges again, and as it's almost like watching curling, where they're brushing the ice as you go towards it, like they are cleaning behind you madly to try and get any bloody footprints off the kitchen floor. Like why the hell they made this the thoroughfare, they don't know. If the health inspectors turn up, they're in genuine trouble.
Well, there's a pile of mouse bones on the floor. They're in even bigger trouble.
And you go out into the main space of the tavern, and in fact, the places that you're going to is those rooms that you discovered. There are enough rooms that you can 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there are.
We're in a dormitory,
Sorry, I'm looking
weren't
at
we?
the wrong place. I'm looking at the wrong tavern. There were 3 doors, I believe. So
3 doors, 2 open.
yeah. So there's a kind of a dorm style room with 5 beds, and then there are 3 other rooms that have double beds in them.
Is one of them locked though?
One of them is locked, yes. So there are two rooms that have double beds, and who knows what's behind the third one.
I am just going to trudge down to the one with the bunk beds, the more communal room. And I'm just going to, as I walk in, like a teenager with their backpack, I'm just going to sling it. And I'm slinging it up, I'm going to sling it under the bed. It slides across the floor, and then I just follow
it
behind.
under. Gorgeous. Anything that anyone wants to do?
I do the same as
Comes and joins me?
I'm tired, man. and I walk into the room with the bunks, and I take off my backpack, and I throw it under the same bed that I just crawled
Just
under.
Roll
here
me
from
a
underneath.
dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay, yeah, that is a dirty 20.
Okay, so you hear the bang of Kelnis's, because obviously Kelnis's Dragonborn has a much larger kind of carrying capacity. You hear this heavy bag hit the floor, and you hear it like on its way towards you, and you drag yourself out the way just in time as it careers into the back wall.
And you just hear from under,
Thank yous for the pillow.
You're welcome. Don't touch my spoons.
I rest his head on it, and it's just like,
Yeah, it's like it's resting your head on
Clinking.
sleeping on a cutlery.
yeah.
And I crawl into a bottom bunk, and I just...
Kelnis is out like a light. What about the rest of you?
If he's already snoring, I'm actually going to head down for a nightcap.
So you head out back into the bar. You see, actually, as you head out, Pennick's gone by this point, and you see who is anyone else with Elowen?
Yeah, I think I'm going to...
Radian and Dolly. And you head out and you see Radian, the same person who you saw tracked and then intimidated by Iago. They still bear this little scratch that hasn't healed on their cheek from where he dragged the whip across their face. You see them run, sort of dash into the bar space and head over to a table which is populated by a great group of the learned friends. Can the 3 of you roll me perception checks? You don't have to stay under, by the way. You can always come out and join in if you want to, unless you're considering. And
I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Imagine little puppy breaths as you're sleeping,
Yeah,
barking in his sleep, little
He's
running.
absolutely going to wake up with spoon marks because resting head on the backpack, but then on the other side, Kelnis's weight.
Yeah,
just-
Kelnis's weight. Okay, Radian, what did you get?
23.
23.
Oh, I'm looking for wine. I'm on a 9.
9. 8. An 8. Okay, with the 23, you hear. You need to return to the house. Bennett, he's in a dreadful mess. I think he was attacked. Anyway, he says there's something terribly important, and they're all sort of... If a kind of group of turkeys were humanoid, there's a sort of... there's this sort of panic. He's sort of... It's all very histrionic, it's all very dramatic, and all sort of quite well-meaning, but overly sweet and irritating. And they all kind of usher themselves out, oh no! It's a bit like Pingu's mum, which apparently is the best impression I can do. Do you know what?
Really good.
Right, there we go. I discovered I could do that last week.
So that's the short for this episode.
So all of Pingu's
Wait,
mum.
for sure, do we need to be like, wow!
Wow! We need to, and then we can do like your reaction faces.
That's so good.
So good.
Best I've ever heard.
Good and important. And you see the learned friends dash out, and you watch them. You're sat in the bay window, and you watch them running across the snow-filled square towards their house.
They're exhausting.
Seems like our actions weren't for nothing. Pennick's gonna tell them.
That's fine. As long as he keeps his word.
I imagine after what he saw, he'll know it's probably not worth not keeping his word.
Do you sometimes think that what we do isn't worth it?
To who?
I don't know.
If there's going to be nothing left afterwards, I may as well make the most of what I've got now.
Yeah.
Feel better now that what we're doing isn't for somebody else. At least now what we're doing is for ourselves.
Yeah, beating people up on our own time.
We're still doing it for someone else, though. Just because it's not called the web anymore, we're doing it to aid other people, to do a favour for another thing. Do you ever wonder what it might be like to actually just make your own choices?
Oh, I did. This is for my brother and for my sister-in-law.
I'm not saying I wouldn't do it.
I mean, you did it. You didn't do a lot. But you did it.
Yeah. I feel like I let you both down.
When? Just now?
I hate being a burden to people.
You're not a burden, Radiant.
I was just then.
You were a distraction. You weren't a burden.
And how many times have I gone down in battle?
Not me, though.
No, not mine. But if we're going to talk about quid pro quo, my my track record is a lot worse than yours right now. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Dragged you into an entire fight on behalf of my family.
It's true.
Yeah. I promise not to die on you again.
Yeah, it'd be great if you didn't.
Yeah, that I'd prefer if you kept that promise.
What do you think we should say to I?
Tell him to make the most of what we've got now. We don't know anything about the gods. Just because you saw nothing, maybe you just don't deserve to see anything good.
I will remind you, just as that you saw black water and you could see that there was a surface and a thing, and you were falling down. So I don't know whether you have remembered that and if you're choosing to play something different, but just as a reminder, just in case anything is lost in translation.
There really was nothing.
I find that comforting. I like that what we do and where we're going, it's not dictated by someone else. Why is it better that we take orders from someone else, but where we go in the end, is someone else's idea of where we should be?
Chasing some fairy tale.
I don't know. Maybe I find comfort in knowing that there might be another place after this.
Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but let's just stay where we are right now for the time being. And maybe this path that we're on will find some answers.
Just try and make the most of the fact that we are still all alive.
I think we need to buy some potions or something, because we were really not doing great back there.
I was fine. But yes, maybe some potions for you guys wouldn't be a bad shout. Eris, there'll be a place here somewhere. I'm sure of it. Rather not wait till we get to a sanctum.
What did you do with the cards?
The cards? Back in your bag.
Looks in his bag.
Mm-hmm. Are they there?
Yeah. I can put a spoon in there. I can put a bag back in there pretty easily too.
Did you really push the card?
I just thought about what I wanted, and things happened the way that they did. But I've been known to push cards before. Luck was just on our side today.
What was that thing, by the way?
Big cat? I don't know.
A larger than average cat.
That's very strange.
It's really weird. It was talking. It was wearing clothes. Like, what?
Anyway, thank you, both of you.
I'd say the next round's on you, but you decided not to take the gold radian.
I don't do it for money.
I do.
Another round.
I exits and literally walks out into the bar and just walks across, doesn't say anything to anyone, and just goes into the toilet. And you just, while they just sit there, they just hear the sound of water hitting in the bowl, and then back out again, and then just back across and back down into the bedrooms.
I imagine he's kind of sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to,
Exactly.
like, trying to like, keep your sleep.
Everyone in the tavern stops as I treats himself to sit down. One door open.
Yeah. And then just back across.
Doesn't even wash his hands.
Yeah, doesn't say anything to anyone, just not even looking at anyone, just back into the bedroom.
Great, and you sit there having a drink for the rest of the evening. Before you rest, do you want to consult your book?
Yes, please.
Okay, roll me an intelligence intelligence check, sorry.
7.
No pass, I'm afraid.
Are we quite drunk?
I'd say all roll me con saves, the three of you. What'd you get? 5.
10.
10.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. You're absolutely solid as a rock. You're pissed, you're drunk.
Guys, I've got an idea.
That always ends well.
Why don't we just open the deck of cards?
No.
Why don't we ask them ourselves? I want to ask it. I want to ask what they are.
You want to ask the
I
cards?
want to ask them. I want to say, hey, guys, what's going on in there?
But you don't want to draw from it, right?
I want to.
You just want to have a chat?
Let's just pick one. Have a chat with one.
I'm drunk and even I don't think this is a good idea.
I mean, they're your cards, but it feels...
Yeah, but we clean up the mess from his magic.
Yeah, you almost died once today. In fact, you did die once today.
What's that? We just have a little chat. Go, hello. Hello, little cat.
Do you think the little cat wants to talk to you?
Maybe there's more cats in there.
I want to reach into his bag and put the deck on the table.
Okay. Yeah, you do so. Roll,
But I'm going to put it in front of me, not in front of Radiant.
roll me an Arcana check, Dolly, and you can roll one with disadvantage, Radiant, because you are drunk. Go ahead.
8.
15.
15 with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Even drunk, you remember that when the cards have been used, they disappear. So through this kind of fugue of drink, you are aware that you would burn a card that you could then not call on again. You do not realize this, Dolly.
I feel like your realm is sometimes logic, intelligence, things like that. You're very, very smart. But that's not really
First, I
my...
want to say thank you so much.
No, it's fine.
No.
Don't.
You're so nice to me.
Don't make me regret it.
You saved my
There was a
life.
but, Radiant.
But reading people is more my wheelhouse. What do these cards make you feel? You've talked a lot about, like, you know, what they do, what they say to you. How do you feel?
They made me feel like I matter.
Because they're powerful?
Yeah.
Ellen, how do they make you feel?
Like you're trying to grab smoke.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them.
Goes into smell it.
They smell of dust.
It's quite dusty.
That's because I reckon they're old.
They could kill us, you know.
Yeah, and they can
They
stay.
almost did, Radiant. One of them almost did.
If I die, don't feel bad. I'll be all right.
You'll be nothing.
I don't think I'm all right with that.
Nah, I'm good. Obviously I'd be sad a little bit, but I wouldn't feel anything.
Problem is, we would.
You want to do that to us?
No.
And
Well,
try
then.
not to die.
You're nice to me, both of you. So nice to me.
Our stories aren't over yet. You can't leave it half written.
Cool. I'm gonna go to bed.
Before he does, I'm gonna sneak the bag back into his main bag along with a couple of spoons.
Sleight of hand.
I don't think you've got to sneak anything at this point.
Oh yeah, with advantage. Roll a 5 on Constitution.
Yeah.
Save.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, roll me 2d6.
6.
6 spoons. 6 spoons and the deck of many friends.
Where are you keeping the spoons? Because it seems to be an endless supply, Dolly.
Well, there's an endless supply coming from. I just have some,
Just when he's not looking, you just...
I'm upstairs asleep.
I was about to
Whittling
You're bored,
Pretty
easy.
impressive that he just has a bag of spoons.
We all gotta have a hobby.
And I meant Radiant.
Oh.
Guys, which one's my bed?
Bottom bunk.
Ready to go to sleep. Well, meditate.
Yeah.
Promises.
Passes out.
Makes this noise.
Oh, between the two lizards and you making noise, we're never going to get any sleep.
It's white noise at this point.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you settle down. And then the next morning, you wake. You wake to the sounds of chairs and tables being kind of pushed in the main area. You have sort of slept in a little later than normal, I think. It's probably 9 o'clock in the morning. And the tavern doesn't open this sort of time, but there are a few, you can hear some sort of people from other rooms walking down that corridor and going out to get themselves some breakfast.
I wake up and I roll over and Radiant's face is next to me. What are you doing?
Hi.
There's more than enough beds as well.
It's just 5 minutes.
It's like one totally just unmade
You said
bed.
bottom bunk.
I didn't
and he
say which one.
Radiant.
Yes.
And I just give him a push.
A little roll out onto the floor.
Now you're looking at
And now, yeah, eye is just there. But eye is also not just staring like this, face still squished. Eye has been awake for an hour and a half. And has just been unable to move with his head squished between Kelmis and the backpack.
You must have gone back in it, like you have gone to the bathroom and then crawled back into the same space.
Yeah. So now it's just looking at Radiant and just goes, hello.
Hello, I.
You is okay?
I'm great.
Who's under the bunk?
Can you help me?
What's going on?
Please.
Who is that?
Rolling back over.
You know I'm going to leave you to it. And Radiant just gets up and walks out.
Okay.
Kel, roll me a wisdom saving throw as you're trying to rouse yourself from a really quite deep sleep.
Wisdom saving throw. 12.
Yeah, you realise it's I. I is under the bed. You hear I's voice coming from under the bed.
You is awake, big scale. Can I ask some favor?
Of course.
Could you please stand up?
Okay. I kind of swing my legs over the side.
Yeah, the bump divot becomes even more intense.
Yeah, I give, okay. And I give myself a little bounce. Just as I kind of wake my legs up.
and stands up.
And then as you stand up, because of the pressure, I's head actually lifts up with the with the bottom of the bed, and I pushes back into the bed and peels my face off the underside of the bed.
I say he has the print, but he's already got scales.
Yeah, you never know.
And just cracks his neck both ways, and you just hear from underneath.
Thank yous.
Welcome.
Appreciate.
Could you throw my backpack out?
And I literally, you just see it barely makes it past the bottom of the bed. It just like half out from underneath.
Do you need help?
And then you just see a little tail just come out, like poke out.
I grab the tail.
Right.
And I give it a gentle but firm pull.
And I comes out like
Hoping
face,
it doesn't break.
face just dragging along the floorboard,
Poor little puppy.
and just stands up and stretches out, and then looks up at Big Scale and just goes,
Okay, eyes ready.
and just clicks his heels and sprints off out.
And then Elwyn and Dolly.
Rising slowly, I guess.
Like a normal person
It's
would
like-
get out of bed.
Radian, you've gone into the tavern first, and Broderick is there, sort of serving. Finlay also sort of serving drinks to people. These are good. This is a reputable establishment. This is a nice place. This is Orange Tree style. So, there's eggs Benedict with an extra egg. There's shakshuka. There's birka muesli. How do you pronounce it?
Bircher?
Bircher muesli. Yeah. It's that kind of stuff. It's artisanal. It's seasonal. A lot of flatbreads. A lot of sourdough starters.
What do you recommend for breakfast?
Oh, morning. I suppose it depends. What takes your fancy? You savoury or sweet?
Let's go something savoury.
Meat? Happy to eat? Happy with the flesh?
I'll have meat, yeah.
Well, we do a pork belly eggs Benedict with a spicy hollandaise.
Sounds great. Have an extra egg.
And he preps you a pork belly eggs Benedict with a spicy hollandaise and an extra egg.
As he delivers it to me. What do you do with the body?
Oh, well, we spoke to the Reeve and she summoned the watch and they arranged for him to be disposed of. It doesn't do well to brush things under the carpet, and certainly his reputation meant that the watch at least were aware of what he'd done. Saw no need to cover tracks. They weren't of my making.
Sorry about the mess.
I think you did everyone a favour, really.
Cool.
Popped a fourth egg on there
For you, you look down this borderline too many eggs. At
Yeah,
this
and I
point.
grab his arm and I go, take it back,
Truly.
please.
And he goes and gets a little side plate and sort of scoops the fourth egg onto this little thing.
And just as that's happening, I walk in and I sit down and I take the plate with the single egg. Thank you. Could I have a full Yannick, please?
A full Yanik, of course, absolutely.
I just picks up a very sort of like, it's very lovely paper that it's been written on, this little menu type thing, and doesn't know how to read, but doesn't want to. So just goes,
I will has this one.
Roll me
and points
Go on.
at the shakshuka.
Oh, the shakshuka. Cool.
Yeah.
Points at shakshuka. Gets a shakshuka. So you get a sort of, brought to you out in a cast iron or or a sort of earthenware, baked eggs, scattered coriander.
Yeah. I take a bite, and I just go,
Is too much tomato.
Sometimes it is,
Does you not think is too much tomato? Is the eggs, I cannot taste the eggs because of the tomato.
Well,
This is how it always tastes.
well, we've never had any complaints before.
But why would you want to eat something so big on the tomato so early in the morning?
Hellness and Radiant, roll me insight checks. Go ahead.
7.
10.
10. With a 10, you get that Broderick is a little offended.
But you would think, when you look at it, you would think all the flavors comes together, but they doesn't, because the one thing actually is more than the others, and so the flavors are not there of the...
Little scale.
And he swaps plates.
Just gets the egg.
And I just lifts the egg, and in one go just eats it and goes,
See, I can taste the egg.
Very good. Well, I'm pleased you're happy. And he skirts away. Can't get out of there quickly enough. We having Elwyn and Dolly?
We can have our own table. We're not.
Have a
we're a separate table. Yeah. We're not.
Bottomless
same thing.
bubbles.
Yeah.
Like
Smoked salmons. It's eggs royale.
Yeah.
Mimosas.
Yeah.
It's a Megan's brunch at this point.
Yeah, we're classy bitches.
Yeah.
Front, baby.
So you rest, you eat your breakfast. And the day is yours.
Well, so what's the plan? Gotta go see Eris.
We need to see Eris because she's going to need to gather the kids in Oratory Square and see if we can get this motion passed.
And once that's done, once we manage to clear this town out, send them all to mice. Onward.
Well, let's see if we can find some things to keep the rest of you from dying before we leave.
I love that. Maybe we can use the money that you took.
Don't look at me like that. I never signed up to do stuff for free.
What were you going to buy them with?
That guy could afford it. My God. Did you see him?
I'm just saying,
What? What are you just saying?
put the money to good use.
This is good use.
Last night was good use.
I can't think of a better use.
You confuse me.
We know.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
So you're heading to see Eris?
Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way through the town. And quite unlike the first time you approached the town, as you get further out towards the borders, she's not deep on the borders, but she's sort of on the edge of the main bit of the town. The farms that previously were empty as you'd approached are working. There are winter crops that you can see people tending to. There's a cluster of traders. There's busyness, little artisan crafts being made. You can see carpenters. You can hear the hammer of metal as blacksmiths and armourers work away.
Are we really going to throw people out of their homes?
We're not throwing them out of their homes. We're telling them where to go. They'll be safe.
Look at them. They have a life here.
And they can have a life again once it's safe to be here. There are no walls here.
I know what we're doing is the right thing. But we have nomadic lives. We have no roots, we have no set place, and yet these people, they live here. They built lives, they've grown up, they have history, and we're just going to ask them to move?
The gloom is coming.
If they don't move, there'll be nothing to come back to.
It's not a permanent
There's no life
move.
for them to continue.
I know.
It's just until things are safe.
I know.
And eventually you make it to the house of the Reeve. Where is his house where you were before? As you pass, there's like a guard house, which you'd passed on the first place. It was in fact the area where she told the guards to leave. It was just beyond the boundary. And as you walk up towards the door, you see a head sort of peer out. You all right there?
Hello, my name is Me.
Same. What are you doing?
Here to see Eris.
She expecting you, is she?
She is.
If you don't mind, I'll make the, And he sort of pushes past you and says, dangerous times. Knocks on the door himself, and as he's waiting, he sort of looks, he's sort of staring at you, knocks behind him on the door, just waiting for it to open. And it's Elwyn who opens the door. Oh. Yeah, come in. Thank you, Gregory. No, not a problem, sir. Just doing a...
Dolly's gonna mock salute him as they walk past.
He's going to roll an insight. He rolled super low. Returns the salute. Good to see a little bit of appreciation of the art. And Elwyn ushers you in. And...
You said your name was Me, Gregory.
It's still, I'm going to keep the original insight. Gregory sort of... heads back to the guardhouse. And Elwyn leads you through to that first place that where you were, and Eris is kind of looking over some papers in that, almost like an orangery space, glass all across, looking out this beautiful vista of the hills, those rolling, gentle foothills that lead through this part of Mab, covered in snow, the road. And she's drinking coffee from a little china cup and consulting her papers, looking at her responsibilities for the day. She looks up to see the five of you.
Sorry about that.
No, a busy evening, as I understand.
A very busy evening. But the problem should be solved. The House of Learned Friends should be far more amicable to whatever you request of them.
Good. Well, that allows us to invoke the right and put it to the people, and then the people will speak.
What will the people say?
I would imagine most of them will go to Mouse. But the vote is not binding on all of them. Any who wish to stay would be allowed to stay. It's a question more of whether the official protections that exist here, myself, the Watch, would stay with the main population here or stay with the main population as they leave. You all right?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
You don't seem it.
It just unsettles me, that's all.
What, the thought of leaving?
The thought of people staying here to die.
People must follow their own path. I will do what I can for those that stay, but my responsibilities are with the majority, wherever that goes. There is an argument that the fewer people are here, the less of a target this place is anyway. It has no particular significance.
I know you're doing the right thing.
Thank you.
And I know you don't need me to tell you that, but...
A little support never hurt anyone.
Anyway, carry on. Ignore me.
As if we ever could, Radian.
Good lady, I would ask a boon of you. If I may. We have made it possible for the question to be asked of the people without hindrance of panic. I would ask of you a diamond. If you have the means, not a special diamond. It would be something to help when all hope is lost.
Roll me persuasion with advantage. Four.
With advantage?
Yeah.
A diamond, for what reason?
I have the ability to bring someone back from the brink of death, but it requires a component that I do not currently have. The diamond is that component.
Well, there is no risk of death, I would hope, on your travels.
That's not what happened last night.
What?
3 of us, one in particular, were on the brink of death.
It's kind of a common occurrence for us, really.
And there is nothing on the other side.
She would have been told there was a body. She wouldn't have been told any information about how the fight went down because the Watch weren't there, neither was Broderick, and neither was Finley. So this is brand new information for her. You can re-roll me that persuasion. I will bring something to the right.
And a snack. No tomato.
Would you like a snack now?
No tomato.
No tomato?
Give him a snack.
That's quite a broad brief. And she says, I will make the necessary arrangements for the right, for the diamond, and for the snack. Not necessarily in that order.
No, it does not need to be now. It can be
Savory
later.
snack, sweet snack.
Oh. What does the first word mean?
Savory means something like that's kind of salty, or like, you know, it kind of be like meat, or like...
Both.
A sweet, savory snack. I think I know just the thing. She disappears out to the kitchen, and she comes back with, you've seen these before. These are caramels. These are caramels, right?
Immediately.
And she holds you out.
Pupils just go.
Yeah, she holds you out a platter of caramel. She says, "Try them."
I just sort of like trying so hard to keep excitement in check.
Roll me a performance check.
Vibrating.
That's a 17.
Okay, I seem remarkably cool about this.
Takes one, puts it in his mouth.
It is salted caramel. You've never had a salted caramel in all your life. It's like a chewy, savoury, butterscotch sweet delight, rich with dairy, sharp with sugar, and then rounded out by this kind of deep salinity.
And is there more of this?
She hands you a little bundle of individually wrapped in wax paper salted caramels for the road.
I will go anywhere for you.
I bends the knee. And she says, well, I would hope that you will go to Oratory Square and witness this very special rite.
Of course.
Misty-eyed. Okay, yeah, she's gonna, so Eris says, you will excuse me, I need to make the arrangements necessary. And you kind of hear some doors opening and closing away in the corridors. You've been left here, but it'll take them an hour or so to gather the people. It is now 11:30 in the morning. Quincy said she'd be ready at midday today.
I mean, I has no perception of time.
No.
Well,
I'm guessing
perception.
if she gave you a time, you've probably or maybe she referred to it as high sun or something that would allow you to know it would be the middle of the day that she'd be ready.
We've got a little bit of shopping to do.
100% down to do some shopping.
I have someone to see.
Is it your girlfriend?
Is it?
What is this word?
I'm just messing with you, kind of. Not really. Quincy.
I is seeing a Quincy. For H. Why is you looking at me like this?
This is adorable.
Who'd have thought I and a gnome?
I've got an idea.
Yes.
And they're usually really good.
Where are we right now?
You are still at the moment in the Reeve's house. I can show you on a little map of Yanik if you like.
I'd like that.
So, this is a little map of Yanik.
Wow.
You are here at the Reeve's house.
Lovely.
Here's Oratory Square with the fountain. This is the tavern you were staying in. Here's the House of Learned Friends. And Quincy is, I hadn't designed Quincy when I did this map. Quincy is one of these,
Okay.
sort of far in.
Kel, I'm going to need your help. And this is going to be a very little short excursion. I'd like to take Cal outside the house and see if there are any nice flowers around.
Roll me, if you'd like to go out with him, roll me nature check. I mean, I think you can both roll nature and take whoever's is highest. It might be Cal's.
17.
19.
Oh, egg on my face. A fourth egg on my face.
So many eggs today.
Go ahead. Yeah, you find some. I mean, this garden seems to be Elwyn's sort of pride and joy, and so there are the kind of flowers, not only that will bloom in winter all by themselves, but that will bloom in winter if conditions are perfect. And you would know that conditions are almost never perfect, and yet he still got them to bloom.
I want to do this secretly because I don't want anyone to see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're allowed to do this, Kel, but I just think get some flowers, give them to I, he gives them to Quincy, and...
Interesting.
I'm going to need you to keep a lookout because I'm going to take these flowers, okay?
Should we not ask first?
No. Let's just do it.
I think we should ask first.
I think we'll be fine. Just, we don't have long.
Roll me perception check.
15.
15?
21.
21. You both see in the far end of the garden, almost like round the corner, there is like a little greenhouse, and you can hear a little bit of movement from that greenhouse.
We'll be fine. There's no one around.
Okay, but do it quick.
Okay, great.
Okay, roll me stealth checks.
Do I have to roll one as well?
Are you on the lookout, or are you, like, Radiant's definitely cutting some flowers. Are you cutting flowers, or are you on the lookout?
I think I'm more on the lookout.
Okay, roll me perception, and you've rolled your sleight of hand. What was your sleight of hand?
I can roll it again.
No. What was it?
It's a 10.
It's a 10. You make a fucking mess of these flowers.
Oh,
like,
no.
You try to cut, you do that thing where you grab the stem to cut the flower, and you accidentally sort of snap the stem a little bit, so like the top third of this plant starts to kind of teeter over, and you were only trying to take one bloom.
I think I'm doing okay.
Do I see
What was
this?
your perception?
Oh, it was a nat 20.
Yeah. So not only do you see that, but you see that, like, you hear like a, oh, goodness, from inside the greenhouse, and Elwyn starts to come around the corner.
What do you think of these?
They'll do. Let's get out of here. Come on. What have you done? My God, man.
Don't they look good? I think they look good.
Those... Oh, look. The petals are falling off.
Are you trying to get out of there? You've got 5 seconds to decide until Elwyn is here.
Let's go. Now. Come on. I grab his hand. The one with the flowers in it.
Yeah.
No. We need this. We need this.
Roll me.
We have to get
right.
out of
Okay.
here.
Roll. Okay. I mean, at this point, you're not even. Elwyn just sees you, and he goes, "Oh."
I'm still holding
flowers.
his hand with the flowers in it.
What happened? What happened? What did you?
You tell them. It's your idea.
I tried to do a nice thing. And it's gone horribly wrong.
It seems to have done. What nice thing were you attempting?
To get some flowers for my friend.
And you chose white lilies.
For love.
Not quite. And he takes them gently from your hand, and he makes a little bouquet, cuts some sort of winter flowering roses, some like baby's breath, and creates a little bouquet for you. He says, "Those should serve you better." And then he takes this stem of lilies, and he holds them as one would, like, cradle a child you're carrying into a medical facility. And as he walks off towards the greenhouse, you hear him go, "Oh, you poor little thing," and heads back round the corner.
You're a monster.
We got what we came for. I think under the circumstances, Kel, we did really well. We're a great team.
You know, Radiant, I will have to teach you some horticultural basics at some point. You made a real ash of that.
Also, lilies. That's a love flower, right?
I don't know.
Roll me nature. With advantage, you know loads of stuff.
23.
Lilies are a death flower. Lilies are a mourning,
they were-
a mourning sympathy flower.
Yeah.
Lilies are a love flower, right?
No.
It's just there were loads of lilies in my room
When?
back where I used to. Before this.
The lily is a death flower.
Oh. My mother used to deliver them to my room every day and said, "This is what you deserve."
Wow, she was a peach. I wonder where that memory is from.
Before this, I came back to a family who didn't really care for me. And every single morning I would look at the flowers in my room. And I thought, that's nice. They care enough to give that to me. But now I see maybe that wasn't the case.
Maybe. They are a very beautiful flower. The meaning that you take from what your mother did is yours to decide.
Anyway, let's get these back.
You're a very strange man, Radiant.
Thank
But
you.
I like it.
Thank you.
I want to be prepping I a little bit. I want to like dust down his armor a little bit. I've got like this little vial of perfume that I got from Casper. I'm gonna.
Oh, you have advantage on persuasion checks for the next little bit.
It smells nice. Just walk into it. Walk into it. Okay. Now listen to me.
Spray, walk away.
Yep. Listen, look at me. Ask her
He's
questions.
in my eyes.
No, doesn't matter. Ask her
He's in my
questions.
eyes.
Ask her lots of questions about herself, okay?
Why?
A lot of guys get this wrong.
Why?
Ask her things and do not hog the conversation.
This is a lot.
It's not a lot. It's very simple, actually, you would think. But, come on.
Ooh, I like the meta there. Breaking the fourth wall.
Can't think.
Okay, just let it disperse. Are you with me?
Yes, and I
Like,
is with
ask her
you.
about her. You have so many shared interests. That's good. That's a really good starting point.
Okay. For what?
Conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But we has talked already.
Yes, but you're gonna have more richer conversations, and it's gonna be so nice. And we're all gonna go to your wedding, and it's gonna be lovely.
At that point, we storm back in. Here, we got you these.
I did not ask for them.
Give them to her.
And I pull out a spoon and I tuck it into the book.
I takes them and hands them to Dolly.
No, not for me.
For Quincy.
Quincy asks for them.
Have you prepped about what he's going to say?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Write it down.
Oh, he can't read.
I'm gonna draw pictures.
Draw pictures.
Why
Maybe
has
like
Quincy
a little
asks?
eye with a little speech bubble, and then her with a bigger speech bubble
Why
with the flyers.
is there clouds?
And a
above
little
our
and a
heads?
little hug, and then it gets a little bit pornographic. Be like, no. Actually, you know what? That's more of a second date thing. Don't worry about that.
Second date. All right, Dolly.
She crosses off where she's just drawn the flowers, puts them back in the hand.
Where are you going to take her?
To the place where she says to meet.
I have to take her somewhere nice.
Take her somewhere you can go dancing, or like drinks, or like dinner. And you pay for everything. You pay for everything, right?
Give him
now.
some money. Give him some money right now.
Here you go.
She's already given me money.
Not the whole thing. A stack of 10. A stack of 10.
10 is more than enough. Still a first date.
You're not going to go dressed like that.
Flag spots.
I polished him off. It's good. It says he's a man of business. He's got like things.
Business.
You don't need to pretend to be
It's
something
killing
he's
people,
not.
but it's still a business.
Roll me a d4 quickly, please, Dolly.
4.
Okay, you have 4 uses of that vial of perfume left.
Okay.
Because they are quite powerful.
I is going to see Quincy now.
You have an advantage on charisma checks directed at humanoids of challenge rating 1 or less for the next hour.
And
You don't know that.
I'll be back in a bit
Take your time.
with
Yes.
a...
We'll just assume you'll be back when you're back, you know.
Usually
Quincy,
people
I said
is
hello.
back when they is back.
We won't wait up, is what we mean.
Yeah, you do your thing.
Wink.
Why does you squint?
This is not going to go well.
I just wish we could have front row seats.
Maybe we can.
Just make sure they remembers my snack.
And I walk off.
Okay, so you make your way through. You make your way through the town of Yanik. You have a bunch of flowers under one in one hand. You have some money,
All just like literally
like loose coins
balance.
along your forearm.
And gold as well, like, good God.
And then I'm in one hand just some drawings.
And some drawings, and you make your way.
Poorly scribbled out.
Actually,
Poorly
Slightly
scribbled out.
Photographic one isn't scribbled out well enough.
And you make your
Still
way.
Quincy.
You make your way to Quincy's to Quincy's house. She's told you where her house is, and it's this ramshackle house, much like the workshop. It looks like it was an original structure that was added to ad hoc whenever the thought took her that it might be good to add something else to it. It has a water wheel. There is no water anywhere near here, so it has a stopped water wheel. And then you look through these little crooked windows, and you can see this sort of living area that is just a mess, just a mass of stuff and things.
I walk up to the door and I just headbutt it.
And there's a sort of, you hear like the clatter of a plate. You hear, oh goodness, I'm on my way. And then Quincy pulls the door open. Ah, hello, me.
Does you want dead plants?
That reaches out, takes some flowers. Roll me persuasion with advantage.
I'm going to use the big one for this. So that is a 13.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I'll get these in some water. And
You cooks with them?
no, to display them.
Okay.
I'll show you. She says, "Good, come in. It's cold outside."
And I just lets the coins drop and goes,
Can you do something with these?
Oh. Yes, of course. And she reaches down, bundles the coins up, and sort of puts them into your pack for you.
Oh. They said they was for you.
For what?
I don't know.
Who said?
My tribe. For something's nice.
Well, I have no real need for coin.
No.
Well, make yourself comfortable. And she gestures to this. You've seen it through the window, but this very cluttered space. There's plates with crumbs, toast and cake crumbs. There's lots of kintsugi-style repaired cups and crockery with all this gold is the seams of where she's broken things accidentally. She moves a load of papers and blankets off a chair with one hand, still trying to find somewhere to put these flowers, gestures for you to sit down, and goes into the kitchen.
I sits on the floor just in front of the chair.
And she goes, you can hear her getting some water, trying to find a vase that will hold the water well enough. Many of them have been repaired. It's a while till she finds a non-leaking vase, comes out, puts them on the table, looks to the chair, you're not there, looks down, jumps as you're sat at the feet of the chair. Oh.
So what does we do with these?
Pointing at the flowers.
I'm gonna just have a roll insight. She's very wise. She says, do your people not give gifts?
We gives the gift of tribe.
Would you ever make a token for someone? A piece of art, a carving, maybe tell a story to someone?
The tribe tells story to the tribe.
And how does the tribe feel when it hears a story that the other tells?
Warm. But that is also because we is by the hearth.
These are stories, she points at the flowers. These are like stories. Not really stories, but they... It sounds like your tribe is very special. And the care that your tribe takes for one another is very special. You would do anything for tribe, wouldn't you?
How does you not know of Kobold tribe?
Well, you don't tend to share it with us all that often.
But gnomes and kobolds is not friend.
Roll me persuasion with advantage.
3. I rolled 2. I rolled 2 twice.
Right. She says, I don't know where you... What have you been told about us?
This is the way it has always been.
Says who?
The world.
The world or the tribe?
The gods.
All of them?
But's your god and our god. We is not friends because of your god. They did not tell you this?
We were told that in the divine war all the virtuous played their part, and that with the help of Alakash and Ristrin themselves became a spy within the courts of the wild and the vile. That's true.
And when themselves came back?
I do not know this story.
Who was the first to turn their back?
I do not know this story.
Who was the first to point a finger? Who was the first to not trust themselves?
Roll me insight with advantage.
That is a 6.
She doesn't seem to have any recognition of what you're saying.
They did not tell you.
These are in no stories I have read.
Funnies they would not tell you.
But you are not themselves.
What does you think of your god?
She bows her head for a moment. I wish I'd known him better. There are those who spent hours or even days in his company, and they said it was like being close to a star, that he sort of shone, and that he inspired you on to things that you didn't think were possible and you couldn't dream could be done. But I mean, even from the workshop you saw, it could be a bit of a know-all.
The bright star. The bright shine of your god drove us into the dark. This is why we does not leave the tribe. Because the world does not trust themselves. The world does not trust us.
She spreads her hands and says, I trust you, me.
Me?
Yeah. And I hope you return that trust.
Is not my name.
Well, what is your name then?
I.
I've had her roll an insight check and she's rolled high to determine. She sees that for you that is significant. Well, my name is still Quincy. And I like you just the same.
Me is a very clever name.
It's a very clever name because it's not the same one as I, is it?
Yes. You understand?
I hope so. I've got the drawing, but
Me too.
Oh no! Dolly!
right, okay.
It was made for me by Pamela.
By Pamela.
By a Pamela.
The tiefling.
That is their name.
You all right, I?
Yes. Does you need the drawing?
The kobold eye.
Is I?
Yeah, of course.
Does it? Am I meant to give you the
Yes,
drawing?
hand me the. She roll me insight with disadvantage.
9.
You can tell she is shocked. You didn't draw this.
No.
No. Dolly drew this.
Pamela.
Pamela drew this. Sorry. Well, no, technically, I think she knows all your names anyway because
Does not matter to I.
Right, doesn't matter to I. Because you called her Dolly back in episode 15 in front of Quincy, so she knows who you all are.
Pamela.
Pamela drew this.
Yes. I thinks it is so you can gives me my drawing.
Right. You had no say in what was drawn here. You didn't ask her to draw this or ask her to draw something for you to give to me.
No, she draws me this and then we go somewhere nice.
Right. Well, follow me.
To somewhere nice?
Sort of. And she leads you through into this room which has a larger window than the rest. And this room is absolutely spotless. And it's her workshop. Everything organised, dusted, cleaned down. Little vials and bottles of various oils and polishes, all in a row, all neatly labelled. Apothecary-style drawers, everything labelled, beautiful handwritten script.
This is somewhere nice.
Oh, I think so. Tried to make it as clean a place as... What you doing?
What does this say?
You reach up. Roll me...
One of the little vials
One
with
of the little
things
vials.
written on it.
Roll me a d6.
5.
She says, it's a kind of polish for metal. It makes things shine.
What does this say?
4.
It's for making things move smoothly, making sure they don't get stuck like your crossbow.
Do they all say different things?
All of them. All of these different things, and she points, and you see that even high up on these shelves that she's got are paints, are different types of cloth, different grits of sandpaper, other things that have hand tools, little vices, screwdrivers, pens, quills, all things.
And you looks at this.
And he points at the words.
And this goes in here.
And he points at his head.
She points at your picture. Who's that? And points at the drawing of you.
I thinks it is I.
And even if it wasn't, what species is that?
Kobold.
You look at those lines and see kobold. And she points at the label. I look at those lines and see its power.
So this is Gnome.
Yes.
And why does Kobold do this to Gnome?
Jesus.
She says, truly I couldn't tell you. And we're friends, I hope. Perhaps that's a word that feels strange to you.
I is working on it.
I understand. Friends don't do... And she points at one of the last drawings. That.
Fight.
Absolutely. I mean, they can do that. And she seems to be for a moment lost in a reverie. They can do that, but they... Back to you. They tend not to. Without some sort of groundwork.
I understand, I think.
And then she turns to this angled desk right underneath the window, which has an ink pot and a quill, and there is a beautifully drawn schematic diagram of the high chair.
This. I sees this and it goes in my head.
Exactly.
I understands this.
And you can see that all the things that you talked about, there's a drip tray connected to a straw. There's a set of steps that go up the side of it. It levers on one side so that it can open easily. It's fully adjustable.
This is everything I need.
Well, I just wanted to... I did you a little something extra.
Yes?
And she goes over to one of the apothecary drawers and she opens something. And she says, I haven't forgotten what you said when we first met. About my people and about traps and tricks and how we can't be trusted. Well, I hoped that I would be able to show you something different. And I would flatter myself that perhaps I have. That yes, she gestures to all of the various tinctures, and so we have tricks, we have things we can do, but traps and tricks don't mean we're not true to those that we care about. And she hands you a little necklace. It's a dark band of leather, and on it there are 2 carved wooden tokens. One of them is a circle, which feels like a sort of hand-smeared paint circle that she's delicately carved, creating little striations in it. And the other is 8 straight lines that protrude from a central piece. And you recognize that circle to be a symbol of themselves. It's the only written mark that kobolds make. And she places the 2 together and it forms the wheel of Ristrin with the circle of themselves around it. And she says, without the circle, the wheel has no form, and without the wheel, the circle cannot be moved. You don't have to, but...
I takes it and has never understood something beautiful in the way that he understands this, and genuinely gets it on like a spiritual level, and is struggling to sort of... He's definitely teary-eyed and holds it up sort of by a window, sort of looking at it as a silhouette, as one unified image. And just as he stares at it, reaches in to his pocket and just shakingly hands out some salted caramel.
And she takes a little caramel, pops it in her mouth, and then she sort of stands next to you, looks up as you're looking, and she puts her head on your shoulder for a second.
This is something nice.
I'm glad you think so. And then she stands away from you, says, it's been good to meet you.
I is sorry if I was not kind to begin with.
And given what you've told me about the stories you've heard and the stories that have been kept from me, I can't say I blame you.
I threw pebbles at your reliquie. Sorry.
Am I reliquiae?
Yes.
Antiqua?
Antigua.
The DM says.
Sorry.
I threw pebbles at your earth.
Sorry.
At Arbuthnot.
If that was their name, yes.
I don't think he'd have noticed.
No, I was very good.
Well, pebbles or not, it makes no difference now, does it?
No, I don't think it does.
What about your Antiqua? Must have been nice to meet another kobold.
It was confusing.
Why?
Strange. They had a real name.
And that's not quite right, is it?
Why does you need name when you has tribe?
Well, she shrugs. How would I ever ask for you? How would I ever find out how you are without a name? If I ask for I, and every kobold under the sun says, that's my name too, how would I know that you were safe?
Because you asks with meaning.
So kobolds understand the difference?
Yes.
So if I asked a kobold how to find you, they'd be able to tell me?
I does not know. I has never. This is hurting
I'm sorry.
in the head.
Yes.
This is.
If I asked you to find another kobold, could you find them for me?
Yes.
Where are they?
I does not know.
Oh. Is it just you?
I does not know.
And she puts her arms around you and gives you a hug.
I does not know what this is.
Sorry. It's, you put your hearts close together. And if you're really lucky, they beat at the same time, and that's all.
Puts out your hand.
She puts her hand out.
And I touches, and then I brings it back, my hand back, and I smell, and I take in her scent.
How does it smell?
It smells of lavender and grease. Like, it smells of oil and grease, and like as a thick tone, but it's like delicate still, like with the lavender.
She says,
Now you smells.
And then I am gonna go in for a hug.
roll me perception with advantage.
15.
You become aware of your own heartbeat, and you become aware of hers.
You feels warm.
It feels quite cold, actually. It's not unpleasant.
Good.
You can stop whenever you like.
Okay.
And just kind of lets go.
I thinks I needs to find my tribe, my new tribe, and I needs to find old. I needs to go
Yes.
now.
All right.
And can I has this?
It's yours.
Thank you.
You're pointing at the... What were you pointing at?
The schematic.
Yes, absolutely.
The
Because I just casually said
Yeah.
It's a +9.
I just takes and sort of like rolls it up and then reaches into his pocket and pulls out a coin and goes,
No.
But it is for you.
I don't need it. You saved the workshop.
I don't. I has more in my pocket.
I have more.
Okay.
I take it back and just go.
Show off.
She smiles.
But I thanks you.
No, thanks you. Be careful, won't you? Be safe.
And you gets the mouse.
I will.
Okay. Bye.
Clicks his heels.
Yeah.
Straight out the door.
While this has been happening, the rest of you. While this has been happening, the rest of you, you've had some time to head into Mouse. No, you haven't. That's a long way away. Head into Yannick.
I'm assuming we're going shopping.
It's one of your favourite things to do.
You know this place? You'll find an apothecary somewhere.
There is one somewhere, and I don't remember it well. I've been here since I was a kid.
Well, should we ask around?
Yeah, probably a good place to start. It'd be somewhere in the main square.
You
surely.
usually just go where you hear signs.
Yeah.
Gregory's still in the guardhouse.
What are you looking at me for?
Fine. Gregory, where can we find an apothecary?
Oh, well, there's just to the south of Oratory Square. It's Minklewood. Minklewood.
South of Oratory Square it is.
I gave him another little salute.
He returned like
Full Arnold J. Rimmer.
yeah. Well, you know what? It's because there is not really much military. The military isn't massively thought of. Whereas this is really rare for him. Like you've made his day by mistake.
Damn it!
It's taking the piss.
Oh, I hate it when they don't get it.
Yeah, and Yannick is busy. It's getting busy. And as it's getting busy, you start to see as you walk towards the town, people knocking on houses and speaking to the people who come to the door. And you can hear them saying, the Reeve has invoked the right. We will meet in Oratory Square in an hour. The Reeve has invoked the right. There's almost like a series of messages are all starting to go around.
Like something big's happening.
We need to get there quick before everyone's left.
Got an ire.
And you make it. You do make it to Oratory Square, and some people are starting to gather. Like there are people who like to be near the fountain because they're closer. The learned friends are already there. They are sat on the edge of the fountain because they like to take up residence, as you saw at the very top of it.
Is Bennett there?
Yes, he is.
Just give him a little stare as we walk by.
He's been bandaged up in a way that makes the bandages very obvious.
Yeah.
And he is. You see that as he's sat on the edge of a roll perception check. All of you can do it who are there.
9.
9.
10.
10.
9.
9.
27.
27. Kel, you see that you can just behind, like, Pennick is sat with the rest of them, but as you look, you can just see that there is a hand around, like someone's hand is around the back of his head, just sort of, and he's sort of ever so slightly leaning into it, as if really making a virtue of the fact that he had a near-death experience last night.
Toffs.
And
His blood is milk.
you find an apothecary that says that sort of has a sign that says Minklewood's Salves and Solutions. Tends to be the kind of nomenclature of an apothecary.
I don't know how you're going to do it, but can we just try not to offend this person?
I'm going to stride on in and be like, hello, my friends and I have a habit of almost dying. You got any health potions in stock?
And you look at it, it's a dwarf. Sure, of course we have. Yeah. We have many. Wow, a Scandinavian dwarf. The guy's got so much range. Like the first dwarf you met, and the second and third.
In fact, these dwarves were always Scandi.
Yeah, always Scandi. Of course, and he has hair that you can see has been like tied back really tight so that it doesn't fall into anything. All of his clothes are very buttoned up. He wears this big sort of high, almost like a full-sleeved tunic, 2 sleeves to keep everything, anything from like falling into anything that he's making. And this is a well-stocked potion shop. And he says, well, you can take your pick. And he gestures to the shelves that have what you recognise as healing potions on them. And they have sort of common, uncommon, rare, and very rare kind of status to them. So you have potions of healing, potions of greater healing, potions of supreme healing. And you would recognise just by the sort of a little indication of the strength of the potion, how much healing it's capable of doing.
How much for these? Points to the supreme healing.
Supreme. So roll me a luck check.
19.
A raw 19.
Raw 19.
Okay. He points to the supreme healing. So there's regular, greater, superior, and supreme. So are you pointing at superior or
supreme?
Supreme healing.
Not that
really
many
necessary,
points.
to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's a potion of supreme healing, which would do 10d4 plus 20. There's like 2 of them. And he says, they would be 18,000.
Put in the market for something
Radiant.
a bit more mid-range.
Yeah, you know what? We're not that strong. Something a little bit more than stop it.
I'll take it.
18,000 seems a bit steep.
You will.
Do us a deal.
No, Radiant, I don't have the gold for this.
17,500.
Don't worry about him. Maybe something a bit more mid-range.
So he's rolled a 19. So Radiant's rolled a 19 on a luck check. So this is a cheap, good potion shop. It's pretty much as good as you can get. So the prices will reflect that across the board. So he talks you through your healing potion is 30 gold. You would know that the regular price is about 50. Your greater healing potion is 150 gold. The regular price is anywhere from 200 to 250. Your superior healing potion, he's selling for 1,500 gold, which is 2,000 to 2,500-ish normally. And supreme healing, he's selling for 18,000, but they go up for 20 to 25 sometimes on the.
Do you have any discounts on bulk orders at all? By the way, if you're looking outside there in the square today, I don't know if you've seen, there's a bit of a to-do. It's kind of because of us.
What do you mean?
They're going to discuss leaving town.
Oh, we vote.
Before we came in.
They invoked the right.
Yeah.
Why would we leave?
The place isn't safe. All over the Reliquiae, there are revolutionaries standing up, causing harm to people like you.
Yeah,
The
the
Gloam.
Sky God. Told us all about it.
You're not going to need much of that stock. Take it off your hands. Less to carry.
Roll me persuasion.
With advantage.
You're with advantage because you'd like to help. Okay, very well.
Well, I did help, yeah.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Come on, Dolly.
He looks up and he says, still much to carry, that's for sure. All right, I will see what I can do. You do 10 of anything, I give you 25% off.
Someone do maths. That's not my strong point.
I've been.
Have you been writing down how much I said things were?
Yes,
'Cause
I have.
I can't remember how much I
have.
said things were.
I've been casually over in the body lotions area, just been testing,
Like makeup, but it's like you're swatching in boots. Like,
and I find one that just feels really nice. It's silky. It like it's very nice on the cracked skin in my hands from, eating too much mushroom soup probably.
Yeah.
And I just say, can you throw in one of these as well? It's really nice.
And he looks over at what it is, and it's like it's got pine syrup in it, so it has that kind of fir tree, almost Christmassy, slightly herbal, medicinal thing. And there's also, you can smell like verbena and these sort of soothing things and aloe vera. So it has this beautiful kind of smooth, it's not too tacky when you put it on.
Smells like something my mother used to make.
And on the back, it definitely is the kind of thing that says has not been tested on kobolds.
Listen, take 10 potions off my hands. I will I will throw in the salve.
How much are we talking?
I'll throw 400 gold onto the table.
400 gold. You're making me do the maths backwards. Fantastic.
Yeah, I am.
Thank you so much.
It's a power play.
So you're looking at regular healing potions or greater healing
A mix
potions?
of regular and greater.
It'd be whatever was 660.
You know.
Well,
Okay, so I'll say.
And this is where we're going to take a quick break.
Yeah.
So what did I say my prices were?
30, 150.
30, 150. That's what you're going to
Yeah.
get. That's what you're going to get. So 150. So if you took 150
I've done the
times.
maths on that. It's 1,125.
Yeah, but if you took now, because I'm going to have to split them up. So if you took eight of those, that would be 240.
D&D is really fun, isn't
Plus
it?
150 twice is 300, which would take you to 540. 540 divided by 100 is 5.4. Times that by 75, and you get 405. Fuck, I'm good.
Wow.
Yes, I used a calculator, but I eyeballed it.
Yeah.
So he can do you 2 graters and 8 supreme. 8. Supreme. Easy, It's not canon. It never happened. Right, fuck it. Everyone's dead. Right, the deck. So yeah, he can do you 8 regular healing potions and 2 greater healing potions.
And the balm for my friend.
And the salve. Sure. Why not?
Okay, there you go.
There you go. Puts his hand out.
And I'll shake it.
Good.
Before we go.
Oh, no.
Don't ask for anything else for free, my friend.
Oh, no. I will pay if I can. Do you have any lavender and sage-scented soap?
Of course we do.
How much for a bar of soap?
He goes, and there are these beautiful, he's the kind of person who's invested in a hand stamp and will hand stamp in
Piss off.
each thing, and therefore it's very beautifully presented.
Thank you.
It has a little bag. It's wrapped in a sort of purple tissue paper, and has been slid into this bag this thing that opens like a matchbox and then closes. And he says, 1 silver.
I will have that, thank you.
With my pleasure. Well, if the right is to be called, I want my voice to be heard the same as everyone, so I might have to close up after you.
All right, let's get going.
Good with me.
And you make your way back to Oratory Square. And is there any way you want to have gone on your way back from Oratory Square?
I don't think so, no. I think it's just straight up sprinting all the
real
way
fast
through.
boy.
Yeah. Super fast, speedy boy to where I need to be.
So you...
Is that what he do that again?
You don't even see him. You just see this little bits of dust being
Yeah.
So you make your way to Oratory Square, and you see running down the lane.
How did it go?
Holding the blueprint above my head. Skids to a halt.
I got my drawing. She did not likes yours.
You showed her the drawing?
Oh my, what? Don't show her the drawing.
And she did not seems to like it. I don't think it will make anything.
I don't think she's supposed to like the drawing.
No, she definitely wasn't supposed to like the drawing. That was for your eyes only. That was just a help. Did it help?
It was sort of a blueprint, wasn't it? I mean...
Oh, I wish I had a cheer. I wish I had cheer or applause. That would have been so lovely. You really deserved it. That
God damn it.
Oh my
fancy,
God.
like, victory fanfare.
Yeah.
Well, we did not fight, so...
Wasn't fighting on the list, but that's good. I mean...
Did you get a kiss?
Did you get a kiss?
I did not. What is a kiss?
This is a kiss.
Radiant pulls it and just literally kisses Eye on the mouth.
That's a kiss. Did you do that?
I doesn't feel flustered at all.
No, because he has
this
no
doesn't-
context of what this is.
No, we felt each other's hearts.
You did what?
We felt each other's hearts.
On a first date?
And then I just look back at Radiant and I just hug Radiant, but obviously I'm hugging like your niece.
Oh,
did-
hug.
We
That's
did
cute,
this.
There is gonna be a wedding.
Because obviously you're hugging my knees, your face is directly in my crotch.
Yeah.
So I'm
We're
going
going to talk about the musk again.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Very woody.
Like an old artilleryman's crotch.
I slowly lower myself so your hand, so your face is going up my body like that,
Do you need naddled?
and I hug him as well.
And how can I go? And then I take a moment and
Roll
I go,
perception.
14.
You can feel Radiant's heart.
And I go, and I whisper, I go,
I can feel your heart.
Can I tell you a secret?
I like secrets, yes.
When I died, there wasn't nothing.
What was that?
I'm not going to tell you yet.
I will cross this bridge when I reaches it, metaphor.
Oh my god, he's growing so much! He grew up so fast! Oh my god, this is the most satisfying character arc I've seen! It's like Michael Corleone, but kind of benign.
Okay, I think we need to go now. Everyone else is looking.
Do you two need a room?
and then I go,
Thanks you.
and just takes your face and kisses.
Wow.
What are you looking at?
I mean,
I don't know.
something's blossoming. I don't know what, but
I think you hit stage 1 on the blueprints.
And people are starting to gather in this town square. The learned friends, and it's really filling up. It's like it was that first day that you saw it. Everyone roll perception checks to see if there's anybody else that you recognise here. Go ahead. 7.
Oh, 21.
21.
27.
27. 11.
12.
12. So after a while, you see that Quincy arrives with Cobner and with Truffle. You see Tommen, from the Black Cat. You see peering out the window, like sort of stood in the doorway of the Learned Friends is Broderick with Finley next to him. You see Gregory at the head of a little collection of guards, and they are escorting Eris with Elwyn into the town square. And she stands on the edge of the fountain, and everyone goes quiet and their heads turn towards her, and she says, "We all know what has befallen the world beyond our borders. The darkness of which we have heard so much has not yet spread to Mab, but in time it will. And we are hard-pressed to defend this town we love so much. An offer has reached me from Lesota of the House of Grenweird, Lady of Mouse, that we may travel there and set up a temporary home. They have repelled the attacks on their fortress, and they are well placed to protect the surrounding lands. As you know, I cannot insist on this, but with your vote, those of you who wish to may journey there with me. And should it be your will, the watch of Yanik will bolster the garrison of House Grenweird, and our two towns shall become as one." And there's this kind of whispered chatter as she says that. People discussing, you can see that there is a kind of mixture of reactions to it. And she raises her hands to quieten the crowd, and she says, "I love this place, these streets. And it tears at my heart to leave it, but I cannot see any other way to protect you, its people. I would level every building and I would sow every field with salt were it to save a single life. So I propose that we uproot ourselves, as painful as that will be, to seek solace with our neighbours. As befits my station as Reeve, I invoke the right of the common voice. Let all who wish to speak be heard until such time as words are done." And there's this sort of hush that descends. And then there's a little bit of movement. And those of you who are tall enough, so everyone apart from I, roll me perception checks. Because I think, unless you specifically, you could have climbed up on a windowsill or something like that.
16.
16?
16.
16?
22.
22?
7.
7. So everyone apart from Dolly and obviously I, you can see that the crowd is parting a little at the front, and a very, very old halfling is moving towards the fountain, and they're helped up onto the ledge of the fountain by their friends. They have this whiskery chin and a hunched back.
What's happening?
You're asking me, I can't see anything.
And this halfling says, "The Reeve asks for faith. She has earned that, I believe. I will bear my old bones to Mouse." And then there's sort of polite applause, and they help this person down. You can hear someone from behind go, "Well done, Whitbeck, well said." And then a dwarf, who you've not seen before, with hands dirty from the fields, climbs up on the side. She drags a rag across her face. She blinks in the sunlight. Says, "For what it's worth," nah, she's a dwarf, "I'm staying. Not missing a winter crop. I near broke my back over. The rest of you can do what you will. Mouse is safer for certain, but it's not home. It's not home for me, at least. Anyway, all this means spit if we don't get to vote. I wouldn't hold your breath." She sort of turns her head and directs that last comment towards the learned friends. And it's almost as if there's this moment in the crowd where, because this is the biggest announcement there has ever been, this is the biggest right of common voice that's ever been invoked, it's easy to forget that the learned friends are still here. And there's just this collective, as they feel and fear that, again, everything will just be completely destroyed. No chance of this ever moving forward. And Pennick Winter von Ven moves forward.
Just as he gets up to the podium and his eyes scan the crowd, I think I'll be able to do this, I'm not sure, but I want to lock eyes with him and just for a second use my mantle of whispers to shift into Iago.
Sick. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Couldn't give a shit if it works mechanically. I fucking love it. So there's many hands of these learned friends that guide him up towards the top of the fountain, and there's rumblings of discontent. And he adjusts his robes. He stands in the classical stance that you saw him with before, one hand to his chest, one hand out. And he scans the crowd and he sees Iago and he sort of stumbles back into the fountain. "Oh, Pennick!" As he sort of stumbles, and many hands again go to clasp him, and then you drop it, and he looks back, and it's you. The learned friends offer no counterpoint, and without equivocation, in the light of the gods that are, and were, and indeed are to come, we acquiesce to encourage and indeed demand that the vote proceed with all alacrity, a minimum of extraneous elocution and all brevity. And then he raises both hands and he says, "Onwards, people of Yanik and its surrounding villages, to the vote!" And there's silence other than the House of Learned Friends going to be, "Oh, well done!" And then there's the applause grows. People can't believe it. They're turning to each other thinking, this is it. This is the first time. And Eris, clearly not expecting to be called on so long, sort of gets to the front, and as Pennick's still getting down, she's sort of staring up at him and, well, in that case, we can proceed to the vote. Those who favour the people of Yanik making the journey to Mouse, make your voice heard. And there's applause and shouts of I, the character, not the affirmation, not the character, not the me. Those who are against your voices will be heard also. It's a much smaller collection of voices, but there are still some that call out. And Eris says, "The common voice is spoken and it shall be heard. The people of Yanik will begin preparations to leave with myself and the watch for the journey with you to Mouse." And there's a sort of stillness. And as you look through the crowd, there are those who start to celebrate, and there are others who start to cry. This is their home. They're leaving. And the crowds begin to disperse as the people begin to make their way back to their homes, to their businesses, to prepare what's needed for the road. It will take them a few days to do so, certainly. And eventually, the crowd's clear. And the only people that are left are Eris, Elwyn, and the Watch, and they walk over to you. And Eris looks at her watch, takes a step forward into you, Elwyn, and says, "Is there anything you'd like me to tell your family?"
Tell them I love them.
And that's where we'll end our session.
Yay.
Right! Oh,
Fun.
thank you everybody so much for watching. That is the end of episode 17 of our adventures in the world of Reliquiae. So, as you can see, we have quite a lot to talk about. You're going to have to wait a week for that. But wait, there is another way.
Yes. There's one other way.
There's only one.
There's only one.
If you don't want to wait, and why would you?
A lot happened.
Waiting's for losers. That's why we fast travel to places. Imagine if I made them play this out in real time, all the journeying. Then you could head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/natural6, SIX. No, sorry, that's now a confusing. Patreon.com/natural6. You can join our Patreon. You can have access to Action Surge right now. Right now. You can stick it in your ears, you can stick it on your eyes, and you can just
could draw a picture
or
of
you could
it.
draw
a picture of it.
increasingly repulsive pictures of
No,
it.
they're banned
No,
on the Discord.
actually
They're
don't.
banned
No, they're banned in the Discord. They're banned in the Discord. We will block. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We're going to cut the cameras, turn the cameras back on immediately and decompress. But until then, thank you so much for watching. We will see you very soon for more adventures in the world of Reliquiae. Bye, everybody! Very good.